continue.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to another evening. The captions work. The music works. Is a miracle.
Whew.
How do we stream again?
I don't remember, dude.
Who the fuck are we?
It's been so long.
We're playing Connect 4 tonight, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, we're not
good.
Lawrence.
I mean, technically, that's the correct statement.
I am not Lawrence.
We've all got to introduce ourselves that way.
Welcome back, friends. Thank you guys for your patience. We have been dealing with an unending slew of random things that cause cancellations.
A lot of snow.
Lot
so
of
much
snow.
snow.
Lot of snow.
It knows when we're about to play D&D.
Yeah,
It's
we're getting
here's
more.
some snow.
Yeah, we're getting more. So we're NotGreatRPG. We're back for the City of Oshuamp once again this week. We're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then we will hop back into the action where we left off 2 weeks ago. I am not Lawrence, I'm Don, and I'm playing Ether Revia, the Grave Domain Cleric, this evening.
I'm not Lawrence. In fact, I've never been less Lawrence than I am right now. And I play Alumlo.
You good?
I'm also not Lawrence. I play Felix.
I'm not Lawrence. I'm a little more Lawrence than him, less Lawrence than him, and less not Lawrence than him. And I play Vorst.
I'm also not Lawrence, believe it or not.
Checks out.
What a turn.
I am Sarah, in case anyone is new here. And I play Ritora.
I'm also not Lawrence.
No, you're supposed to. You are. I'm kidding.
I'm not Lawrence. I'm DJ, and I play Nesgrim. I mean, I am not Lawrence, and I am Nesgrim and play DJ.
Yep.
That checks out.
That was hard to get through, if I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, your name can't,
the lines were crossing so many ways.
your name can't be DJ. So.
How do I untangle this?
No, my name's DJ. I'm hiding something, and now you gotta be rude toward me.
I am the artist formerly known as Not Lawrence.
Ooh.
I am John, and I am the Dungeon Master for the City of Oshuamp. Wow, 2 weeks ago we actually got to play this thing, which was cool.
It was.
We explored the first of the southern caves after Ritora utilized her magic to try to find whether or not there was any blackroot in the area. We discovered that there is indeed, as we had crested out of the edge of the Fellwood to the eastern side, looked up at the mountains, which I described as absolutely medium mountain height, looked up appropriate. I gave a 7,000 foot, which was actually fine. Upon further review, 7,000 feet was actually totally a good value to give. So, yay, mountain height. We discerned that there was blackroot. We went down into this southern cave, leaving the northern cave for later. As we entered, we found it in a state of gradual erosion. There were obvious indications that there were pillars that had been utilized as construction for maintaining the structural integrity of the cave. There weren't any indications as to what this cave had previously been necessarily used for. No inclinations of mining or any other actual sources of what typically a cave might be used as. The only minor pieces of detail that we had outside of the pillars themselves and the natural stone walls were the rotting piles of timber that were on two of the walls, and then on the back wall an etching in giant adjacent to an enormous mound of rubble. Ritora stealthily went around the cave to ensure that there was no danger. We found no danger inside other than the spooky giant words in the back and the weird big pile of rubble that went from ceiling to floor with a kind of bulbous, almost inverted funnel shape. Vorst recognized that some of the rocks were kind of wiggling, giving a little bit of a vibration, and we met our good new friend, ideally, Adelstan. A stone giant who emerged from the rubble, who Don has not yet jerked off, but we'll get there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You won't.
Who Don has.
I will appear in the game. It's like an Easter egg.
A little Easter egg.
Well, yeah.
A cameo, if you will.
Yeah.
We met our perceivably amicable stone giant companion, Adelstan, an elderly stone giant who has been slumbering here for an undisclosed amount of time. The few occasions in which he has awoken, he has not really seen anybody around him or anything to do, so he's simply gone back to hibernation. No reason whatsoever for a man who, as we eventually discerned through conversations with him, that his people are either completely extinct or so spread out that he has not been able to find any others. So, in his loneliness, he has committed himself to just sleep. He translates the giant reading on the wall for us, which DJ did a fantastic job reading in the most monotone.
Just the whitest reading of a foreign language you've ever heard.
Bror Avbror.
Why did you trust me to read it?
I'm so glad it was you.
.com.
You walked over to
DK,
It's because I wasn't physically here to read it.
Correct.
He's the leader of the bunch.
Yes.
In which we recognized that there was a piece of, an old giant folktale about this thing, this entity known as Dodcon, which means the Death King, and told the tale of him and his other brothers that united and met and battled to be able to try to ascertain the powers of divine magic. And he seemingly consumed all of his brothers and became known as he who eats death. We don't like that. That sounds bad. I agree. Probably don't try to hang out with Dodcon.
It's fine.
It's fine. Probably. At least, yeah, you gotta get to know him
He
first.
eats death. It's expelling it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
right? Like,
it's
if
a good
anything,
thing.
he's a cleric.
So
So,
he's the living alone.
Consumes death?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh,
we're not.
Fuck.
And brothers.
yeah, and his brothers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we got the two wonderful giant runic symbols that one for death, one for king. And then we asked whether or not he knows of an entrance into Selfarthen. He indicated to us that the northern cave was one where previously, when he worked with assisting frost dwarves, was a location in which they came out of. He does not know whether or not it is still open or anything like that. He also doesn't know really anything about the fate of the frost dwarves, having, again, retired himself to hibernation for hundreds of years. And we decided to make our way perceivably out of the cave after he indeed gave us the warning that the only time he has ever seen other things in here have been on a few occasions he's awoken, and there have been goblins that return to this cave at evening. But again, sleepy man who does not have a concept of time, because I can't tell you the last time he saw the sun. He doesn't know what days are, kind of like I don't anymore, dude. It feels really weirdly real, and I hate it.
Are you a stone giant?
I mean,
Oh no. Don, I'm sorry.
we gotta go to a different website.
Now we gotta get that server uploaded real fast. Buy the Dell, buddy. We're going to town.
I gotta go.
We're on Twitch, right?
For now.
I didn't check.
Push of a button, I'll take us to a different website.
If you like Twitch.
We're taking the show on private for a minute.
Share your bits.
Yeah, so I mean, we will be picking up at the conclusion of Adelstan, indicating to you guys that goblins have returned here at evening times on different occasions. He does not have an indication as to whether or not that has been most recent. He said he feels like to him a few weeks ago, but again, a very sleepy giant. And you guys are standing here as he is still kind of, like surrounded by the rubble around like his hips and chest, like he's mostly emerged from it, but he is still pretty contained in it. He stood, you guys saw the entirety of his height, but as we're talking, he would absolutely, as a big lazy man like me, just return to his beautiful stone throne.
I see no reason why we would need to stay to see these, whoever they are, return home.
Certainly not.
Do they bother you?
Not no here. Rocks.
Okay.
You said that you could help us acquire the black root in the area.
Small.
Any amount will do.
Okay. And you just see him just kind of like lumber slowly out of this and like grab onto one of the pillars, and you can see his fingers just curl around it and like indent the pillar just from the weight of his hands, and he just elevates himself. And he just kind of looks around at the ground around. Chunk.
All right.
Okay. He just kind of turns around, he looks at the pile of rubble, and you see him just begin to slowly start pushing the rocks away from the corner, just dispersing them out in this big, incredibly clumsily constructed, almost looks like a tidal wave as the rocks begin to disperse. And his hands just like sink down into the rubble below. And he pulls out, awkwardly gracefully for an enormous clumsy giant man, this what looks like amidst soil because his hand is so great and grand. You can see that his fingers have obviously dug through, and as he elevates his hand, there are particles of like the black silted soil that kind of linger and drop down, clatter over the rocks like little bits of pebbles, but as it breaks apart, you can see that there is, in fact, in his hand, a pretty fucking large-ass chunk of what looks like a black withered tree root.
That will do just fine, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Where did he pull this from again? Behind the rocks where he was?
Mm-hmm. Yep, what he was contained in.
I'm just gonna look at Nesgrim. And to his mind, I'll say, was he stashing it?
Do you have any medicine? Are you a guard?
I don't know you. You guys are cool? There's a sample.
You did say it is a short-term paralytic.
Yes, absolutely, dude. I needed to have a reason
for a while.
why this dude who only lives to 800 years old can be as old as he is.
He's just, you take some and just...
Yes! He literally sits here, it's like, none to do? All right.
It's John's lidocaine.
Right? Pretty much. Yeah, big fucking chunk. So, I mean, I would say it's probably about maybe 18 inches, 20 inches across in his hand. So, I mean, it comprises a decent portion of his palm after all the dirt, like, silts away and falls off to the side. He just kind of like...
What about the root, though?
Nice.
Nice. Either were you holding the bag for the... Or was that
I
Nesgrim?
believe Nesgrim had it, though we did give some to Goran. You still have the extra bag, Nesgrim, though? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hand it to you.
You chew?
No.
We need it for a ritual.
Magic.
Okay.
Healing magic.
Medicine.
Yes.
Okay. Want break? Big.
Sure. Yes, thank you.
Just kind of like holds two fingers out and just like little fucking swiper pictures. The clamps! Give me the clamps! Yep, he just fucking straight like snips it underneath his fingers. You got two solid, like, 8-inch, 9-inch pieces of black root.
Okay.
How many ounces
Yeah, do we have
would
an
you
ounce
say?
estimation?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could hold it in your hand and give you a solid estimation worth of black root. Like, I'll say that this is fucking like 9-10 ounces worth of this shit, dude.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Motherfucker had a stash, dude. He's old. Found the old stoner, dude. He's got a lot.
Why are there all stoners in these woods?
So far.
Oh no, wait, is the other side up? Oh no.
Oh, we gotta go!
Don't go that way.
That's why all the shifters just run nonstop.
Doom hole, gotta go, bye!
Did they bring back food for him and I had cooked it, or were they still out getting it?
No, we brought the
They brought the food
brought
back.
the deer
We were
back.
making the food.
Okay. So this was prior to us learning about the goblins, so I'm going to say we probably should get out of here. Our fire and smoke might have attracted the people that live here.
Fair.
Should probably get out of here before they return.
It's a good idea.
Have you finished preparing the food?
Yes. offer it to him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was it stew?
I think he just roasted the deer.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, am I holding stew?
Thank I was gonna say, is that burnt?
Oh.
This is soup.
No, this is just.
I'm so fucking high. Yeah, so I mean, I guess he, just takes up a big chunk of the delicious deer that you've prepared for him and, gobbles that shit down, bones and all.
As you do.
Ah,
Alright, well, we're gonna be leaving now.
okay.
I don't suppose you would mind showing us the way to this other entrance that you know of?
Door.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Not far. Can walk.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll offer him the rest of the meat.
Nice.
And also the deer.
Just fucking vacuums it in.
The deer?
No, Ethan.
My soul!
The stone
Damn
giant.
it. I didn't think you'd get me like that.
The stone giant became Kirby very quickly.
Not again.
The other thing I was going to ask, since we've been collecting seeds and things for these, this being a root is obviously not the same thing. Would I be familiar with at least how this is grown? Is it like pieces of the root are harvested and then replanted, or is that some other process?
Oh, in terms of being able to,
Can I propagate
relocate this back
Can I,
towards Oshuamp?
cut a piece off of this and separate it out and give it to Retora for the seed
I mean,
bag?
theoretically, it's a root.
Yeah.
And it should grow from itself. as
Yeah,
long as it's-
absolutely.
Okay.
I would say
Yeah.
that's fair.
Okay.
Because, I mean, when
Yeah.
I planted, bushes and shit like that, it's obviously not seeds.
Sure,
you're-
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say that's
Potatoes.
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Cool. Yeah, I'll cut a piece off of one of the offshoots and give it to Retora to put in the seed bag.
Yeah.
I'll get a little bit of dirt and just.
Yeah, compact it and keep it encased, I guess, to try to protect it.
Yeah.
Because I will say, this is described as incredibly fragile and withered.
Yeah.
So
Some of that dirt that he pulled, the dirt that it was in,
Yep.
I'll take some of that.
Okay.
Assuming it's not black soiled earth.
No. It's yeah.
Just have to make sure.
She'll take some of that. She'll look at it after it's in her right hand.
Oh, awkward.
Guys, this is so
You're
funny.
never gonna believe this.
You'll never believe what I did. Just his force choking Ether.
Ether, you'll never believe it.
Yes, it's definitely Retora.
Whoopsie.
I love the thought of Felix getting away with a crime like that. So Retora, put your hand down! You're killing him! I'm not even looking!
Oh no.
She's lost control of herself.
Yeah, I mean, he begins to slowly, kind of crawl on all fours out towards the entrance of the cave.
Following along.
Following this lead.
I'm gonna
And a
crawl
really
as well.
large stone giant ass in front of you. He has effectively a big patchwork piece of kind of clumsily strewn together furs.
Got a cockcloth.
Pretty much, yeah. He's got a cockcloth made of owlbear and regular bear. Just 40 carcasses wrapped around.
I was gonna give him one of the hides.
Oh, yeah,
As
the
well.
one of the deer ones that you had, yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll look at it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hat.
Sure.
What did you give him?
How did I know
One of
that's what was gonna happen? Oh yeah, a piece of cloth.
One of the deer skins.
What?
One of the deer
Head
skins.
scarf.
Yeah.
Do we have more?
We have
have one more.
3.
Okay. So
Oh, yeah, we did just get another one, so you have two additional.
So I would have asked her to cut me off a piece of that and used a little bit of my fishing line and a sharp bone to knit a little bag to keep the black root in as we're walking.
Sure. Do you guys have additional pouches still, or do you need the pouch? Because I know people had purchased additional pouches.
Yeah, we had
pouches in
a
terms
bunch of
storage.
sacks and stuff. I just figured since it's fragile,
I have a
something.
basket.
something that's smaller so it doesn't like bounce around.
I can say that that's
Yeah.
easy enough to be able to do.
But we don't have sewing supplies.
I have pouches.
Okay.
I have my
Yeah.
pouch, yeah.
We've established that we do not have sewing supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
That's true. I mean, it's easy enough. We got bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you have pouches, we're
Bones,
good. then
fishing
that's
line.
fine.
We can sew anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just places this deer on his head. I mean, he's got like a very large, I don't know if you guys saw it before, but he's got a really big fucking dome. So, I mean, the deer itself just kind of like sits, like stomach on its head, like legs flayed around its head.
The legs
He's got a
hanging by his
toupee.
ears. It's like a helmet.
It's got mutton chops.
It's a fashion statement.
He's an Amish stone giant. Oh.
He takes the legs and ties it back like a bandana. Fresh
Snowy
today.
Ties it under
Oh,
his
he's
chin.
fucking Rambo. Yeah, no, he crawls his way out, and you guys see him push through the snow and just kind of slap some of it to the side and stand up and begin brushing his, lower torso and legs and stuff off from all the snow and gives a little shake. Just kind of looks up at the sky. Cold.
It is indeed.
Very.
Will you be all right?
Yes. Good with cold.
Used to the cold?
Yes.
That is good.
And he just points up towards the north. Cave.
We will follow your lead.
Just gives like a big fucking awkward wave and just starts slowly meandering on
Does
over.
he leave prints in the snow?
I will say that you guys are capable of seeing like. Nah, he's so fucking lazy. He shuffles. It looks like lines. He's not lifting his full because he's like 20 inches. He's making pathways, ironically, for you guys because his feet are so wide that you guys are like, dude, we got like a fucking tractor now. This is cool,
Let's bring him back to Oshuamp.
right? Could charge money for clearing services.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You gonna eat him?
Stone plow. Gain his power.
Or, hey man.
How are these very like? I want to cover the tracks if possible.
It's like 20 inches of snow.
Okay, so no.
It would take
It's
you a
gonna lead
substantial amount of
anyone
time.
straight to the.
Yep. Yeah.
Like anybody in their right mind shouldn't be following tracks like this.
Yeah. I feel like that is 100% a fair assumption to make that all the living things in this area, if they saw tracks like that, not fucking with it.
No.
Yeah, that's like a fucking.
That's fucked.
That's a fucking T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Imagine the poor goblins coming back to their home and being like, "Oh,"
What
was here?
or "What just went in?"
Oh yeah, they may never come back.
Smells like fire in there.
Yeah, he begins meandering his way over towards this other cave. It's about 500 feet away because you guys traveled like 150 to 200 feet down. So he's just meandering his way over. You see him just clumsily shaking back and forth as he takes these low steps. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are doing anything intentionally en route.
I'm
Always looking for things.
Yep. I'm looking for things at the back.
Sure, yeah.
By that I mean people keeping an eye on our.
Back.
Just watching the back.
Look at that ass.
Getting those points on the back end.
Fucking serpent. Yeah, also. Thank you. You can make a perception check as you watch the flank.
And also the
And also the
surroundings.
back.
God.
Is that?
It's
Yep.
a nat one.
Mesmerized by this ass.
Da-da.
I want to look away, but I can't.
Oh, why?
What's up? What's up?
I will say that you, as an individual that has just encountered a thing that is beyond the scale of the existences you have previously encountered, are enraptured not with his sexuality, but with his existence.
It's the biggest ass you've ever seen.
Pretty much.
Your fucking grandfather clock.
And you could say it's rock solid.
We're just gonna find some new dice here.
Yeah. Anybody else who is looking for anything? Just.
I'm gonna look for more roots now that.
Oh yeah, in the areas that have been cleared by this. Yeah, absolutely. You can make a perception check.
I would like to observe the giant.
Sure. Yeah.
Dead ass.
And not like Nesgrim.
Not like that, but yes.
It's not like how
think
he
it means Nesgrim.
moves if he's actually bothered by the cold, shivering.
Perception.
Sure. Yes.
9.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that the areas in which it's cleared, it looks like he is stepping on areas in which the soil is a little bit more compacted with like gravel. Like there's small amounts of consistent rocks and other things like that, which would give you the implication that like in the spring times, there would obviously be some kind of trajectory with rockfalls or mudslides. So you would see a higher density of rocks and other
Yes.
sediment in the area.
In the springtime.
Correct.
Definitely
that area
not.
that we'll never get to see. Phew. You're trying to pay attention to like his
Movement.
motor functions and
Yes.
whether or not he's bothered by the cold, you said?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'll say that because you're attempting to analyze a creature.
Gonna let
Man,
you
I
know
feel-
my perception and investigation bonuses are the same.
Same. Yeah. Doesn't matter then. That's
Okay.
fine with either.
So it's 22.
22? Yeah, I'll say based on his physiology, the thing that's probably the most striking to you is how, like, obviously lean he is. With being as tall as he is, he's slow moving, but based on the experiences you've had with him and how, I guess, sedentary he was for so long, I would say you would equate the issues in his movement not being, like, an actual consistent thing in the physiology of a stone giant, more just like particularly this dude literally just woke up and is having like the morning issues that anybody does have, especially a person like me. Just like coffee. Yeah, I will say he looks like he's slightly bothered by the cold. It looks as though he's giving off a slight sense of shivering. It doesn't seem like it's something that is slowing him down, and it doesn't look like it is necessarily dangerous as far as the temperatures that are there, but you do see like heavy puffs of breath as he is walking.
Okay. As we're walking, Ritora's looking in the tracks. I would be looking more along the like base of where the mountain hits the ground, which I know is like mostly covered with snow, but if I see anything kind of like sticking out of the snow, body, herbs, plants, anything kind of sticking out that seems out of place. That's going to be a 17 on the die plus 7.
24?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I will say that you, as you are passing along, this trajectory, you'll see slight break points effectively where you would associate as you're ascending up a mountainous area, especially in a region like this, it is more treacherous because it's not like a unified piece.
Sure.
You are seeing more jagged kind of like miniature peaks, even in the lower portions of the ascension here. So I would say that you're able to effectively discern that like the areas that are not previously indicated by the cairns, like the passageways, they look like they are jagged, and it looks as though I can't tell you a justification for why, when they are covered in snow, you would be able to discern that they're jagged, but it looks as though they are formed.
Okay.
Like, intently.
Sure. So we would make the assumption, especially based on like the caves and stuff, that this is a very deep mountain, that the fact that there are peaks not
at the
that
low
high
point,
up.
yes.
Okay.
Is that there is a significant depth underneath here.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Anybody else trying to do anything while we're en route? Good? Good? All good? Very good. We will make our way towards the secondary cave. So, I mean, after the 500 or so feet, traversing through the cleared passageways by Adelstan, he stops, and as previously indicated, the opening for this one is definitively a little bit smaller. This one was only about like 12-ish feet in height, and it looks as though it is only about 6 to 7 feet in width. So this one is definitively a bit more narrow.
Is this the other cave that we saw, or is it a different cave?
This is the other one that you saw towards the north side. This is the one that he had indicated that has an entryway inside. As you approach it and you get into the area, well, he would be the individual leading, so he would walk to the opposite side of it, stop, and just kind of like point down, because he's obviously taller than what the height of this is. So like he would just kind of be pointing down to the pinnacle of the framing of this opening. Inside.
Do you know anything of this entrance?
Dwarf hole.
Dwarful. Yes.
They
Do
made
you
it or
know-
they used it?
Use, not
Okay.
no made.
Do you know where it leads to in their city?
Not been in. Dwarf come out.
Never been in their city.
Not through hole.
Is there a way that you are able to get in?
Went through. Hole. High. Big doors.
Above?
Yes. Mountain. Peak.
How far away is that?
High.
Yes.
Climb. Walk. Path. Dwarfs. Rocks. Shiny. Come out. And then, pull. Small
Carts.
cart. Yes. Points like westward. Take rocks.
A mine?
Yes. Find rock. Dig. Sharp.
Yes.
Pickaxe.
Yeah, hit wall. And forge. Metal. Hammer. Chest.
Armor.
Yes. He just kind of like taps his loincloth.
I'm just gonna point to, like,
Yeah, he hears the clang. Yes. Very nice metals.
thank you.
No dwarf. Made very nice
Sure,
metal.
still beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This entrance, do you know what it was for?
Out.
An exit from the city.
Yes. Come out. Rocks. Cart. West.
To bring from the city elsewhere.
Yes.
This entrance must be close to wherever they were harvesting these rocks.
Yes.
That they were not bringing them down from above.
Think they were working top down?
Could just be faster to.
What color is your armor? You have chainmail on, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would point at the chain linking. Same. Metal.
Imagine when he, like, pokes me, it's like,
He bruised my ribs and my heart!
a little nudge. It's like getting hit by a semi.
Mm-hmm.
They would make this
Color.
silver.
Silver. Big.
Pull my sword out and point to like the silver in the handle.
Yes. Big silver. And does anyone have any red on them?
No.
I don't believe so. I feel like everybody has mostly gone towards
Yeah.
black and white clothing.
The most that I have would be like the kind of pinkish, kind of like flowers. Yeah.
My throat wound.
Oh.
That should be
Okay.
covered.
Yeah, that's covered by the coif from your helm. Yeah, okay. Other. Rock. Blood.
Red?
It's blood colored.
Blood. Yes. Not no.
A rock.
Yes.
Stone.
Bloodstone.
Not no. Bloodstone. Speckle. Tiny dot. gray. Not see when work dwarf.
Did you help them forge these?
Some, yes, have big forge. Many use hot rocks.
Where were these forges at?
Go in, up, down, low.
Perhaps near this area.
Never go take rock from wall. Only work rock.
Understood.
I know how to work a good rock.
I know how to work the rock.
Thank you, DJ.
What will you do now that you are awake and back outdoors?
Not home. Cave.
You're going to go back?
Nowhere go. Just cave.
Do you want to be there?
Miss family, dwarves. Just kind of sit now.
We have friends in the city.
Dwarf,
We do have.
There are some.
cold.
It is in the north, so it is cold, yes.
Good.
We have a friend who is a dwarf that makes armor.
Smith,
Yes.
friend.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Take, friend.
Perhaps we can bring you there instead.
Oh. Me fit city.
That's
Perhaps beneath.
Nobody's gonna fuck with it if they do.
Under city.
If you wait for us to come back, we could inquire as to a way to get you in.
Yes.
He would be very helpful with what we found beneath the orphanage.
Perhaps.
Probably.
At the very least, he would have better company than he does in that cave.
Yes.
True.
Rocks.
Yes. And goblins.
We have to
Not
find...
goblin. Smush.
We have to find some...
Try take drugs. Thank you. This is my hole. Get out.
We're pups.
Instead of bark, he's just stone.
We have to find some other ingredients for this cure.
Grimdar did say trees are rocks, so
Right?
the connection's there.
Hey, we know he's a world-class intellect.
Listen, if Grimdar built the world, this could have fucking happened.
Anybody else?
Could have fucked it up.
We are hoping to find...
Medicine.
Yes, we are hoping to find much of what we need inside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Although I believe some of these things are higher up in the mountains. So we may be a while.
Hey.
We could have him keep an eye out of this cave to look for Corin. Corin was going to meet us there. If he can not go all the way up the mountain, that might be preferred.
Corn.
A friend.
Friend with corn.
Corin.
It's a large man, not as large as you.
Okay. Not yellow.
No.
Okay.
There's a person. Similar word,
Okay.
but different.
Okay.
Not
Find.
not food.
Yes, not eat. Find.
He will be coming to look for us.
Okay.
Where's a white coat?
Okay.
Big. Not
Big.
as big as you.
Big man.
Yes.
Bigger than me,
Bigger
but not
than
as big
Nesgrim.
as you.
Or what does he think your name is?
It's Nesgrim.
Snez friend.
Yes.
Bigger.
Yes, bigger than me, right.
Okay.
But smaller than you.
Yes. Wait. Find. Tell friends in whole.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can do. Very good.
Do you know of any more Blackroot nearby that perhaps you could find while you wait?
Some in caves nearby.
Yes.
Some under rocks can lift. Dig.
Yes. How much did we need either?
Of which one?
Blackroot. It was you need 4
I need
ounces of
4
each, and you're
ounces.
doing 2 rituals.
I thought it was 3 rituals.
3 rituals. Forgive me. Yeah.
So we have 10.5 ounces of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need 2 more.
We're doing pretty good on the black root.
Yeah.
The more the merrier, because
Yeah,
since
if
it's
you
a
can
root,
plant
I can,
it.
Yeah, I can try and propagate it.
Was there anything else
Did we?
in the area that he could keep an eye out for? I imagine he knows this area better than we do.
Yes.
What do we have?
You have mallow. You have teardrop.
Yeah, we have teardrop, blood perch, mallow, bones, leaf, and blackroot.
Mm-hmm.
So we need silver bark, which is in the north.
Mm-hmm.
Sap of the tourist tree,
Yeah.
Which is also in the north.
amidst the mountains.
No,
is
it's
what
in the
I have
mountains.
written. I don't know if
Right,
it's further
mountain.
up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what a
find it up the
tourist
trail.
tree looks like?
Yes.
I showed the picture. I can do it again.
I think I have a description somewhere back in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he would know where some of the gems are,
Possibly, yes.
and maybe these tourist trees.
Yes, that could be helpful.
Get some beach tree
We
sap
needed-
too.
Mm-hmm.
We needed multiple pieces of these tourist trees.
Yes, I think so.
The sap, specifically.
And also the flowers. I believe Seraphina requested some.
Yes,
Oh,
that is right.
Something to do
that's-
with stopping magic.
Yes.
The
I was
one in the
elsewhere
middle that
at
is
the
super windy and spindly.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of... What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'll be easily identified.
Yeah.
Looks like a corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of
It's a bonsai tree.
the tourist tree?
Wave.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
Do you happen to know where any of these are?
Tall. High. Mountain.
We are after some of the sap of these trees and some flowers. I believe they interfere with magical capabilities.
Sap.
Sticky?
Ah, yes.
Tree blood.
Tree blood.
Yes.
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 Need trees.
For the cure.
Yes. Sick friend.
Yes. And another back in the city.
Yes. Need trees.
Yes.
Can bring trees.
That would be most helpful.
Did we tell him she was sick?
No.
Sick friend.
Or ingest.
Or does he just
No, we
He
did
just
not.
knows.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you why he knows. but-
Sure.
Stop. Stop.
We didn't mention it.
Stop. No. The DJ's notes say do not take the leaves off this tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, DJ's notes are less specific than what we were actually told.
Which is
Be careful of the leaves.
be
on the
careful of
tree.
the leaves.
And we were specifically requested to get some, and we were just told to be careful not to prick ourselves with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he knows what
Don't-
these trees are.
I'll dab for you. Don't worry.
You're gonna trust DJ's notes.
I just if he wrote it,
If it's on the whiteboard, that's a different story.
Listen, that's when my notes were separated by category. That's when I was still trying before I was just frantically scribbling things.
it was so long ago.
I really was.
So I'm going to approach him.
They interfere with magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just look up with my hood up
Mm-hmm.
and into his mind and say, Edelstein,
Yes.
does the cold bother you?
Okay. Not too bad. Chilly.
I can help for a bit.
How help?
I'll take off my glove. And I
Goblin.
don't. Huh?
Goblin.
No.
Goblin.
Just
No.
green. That's different.
Goblin.
It's taller.
Fishy.
Goblins can't do this. And I'll just touch, I guess, his ankle or
Yeah.
shin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do
Hot.
environmental adaptation.
Hot goblin.
If he's wet.
Hot wet goblin in my area.
Oh, I better burn out for this. No, I didn't. 6.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he feels like a radiating warmth just kind of fill him. Nice. How? Hot. How
give-
make hot?
Just give him a thumbs up. Put my glove back on.
Hand. Hot hands.
TMT.
Yes, sure. It won't last too long, but I hope it helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good friend. Nice goblin.
Not a goblin.
Okay.
You are green.
Good green man.
I'm just gonna look at you.
What call green man?
Felix.
Felix. Yes, that's right. Friends with Snezgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Snezgrim.
Okay. Me bring trees.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Roots.
roots, a little bit more of the black root would be helpful.
Find under rocks on way up mountain.
Yes. And there is a grey flower, spellbane.
Okay.
Should be by the trees, I think.
Okay.
Be careful of the leaves on the trees.
Yes. Hurt.
Yes.
Yes. Me will break.
Okay.
If you can crush stone, you should be fine.
Sharp.
Sure.
Yes. Like, stab.
Right.
You know, shank. When try come in cave, take drugs. Hit with tree leaf.
Oh my god.
Leaves.
Oh, that would be a horrible weapon. Just him with an entire tree full of leaves.
It's like the worst cat and nine tails, dude.
Oh, it's just all knives. Oh.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh.
Yes, me take big rock and break branches.
It's a good idea.
Kick away leaves. Pull tree. Bring tree.
Sure.
You would not happen to know where to find frost agates and chrysoberyl stones.
Yes. Blue rock, green rock.
Right.
Yes. Yes, dwarf. Inside. Work.
Inside.
Yes. Yes. Bring out.
We will have to keep our eyes peeled while we
Shiny.
are inside then.
Yes. Chipped. Inside. Bigger stone. Stuck.
Understood.
Not out yet. Trapped. Have to melt stone
Understood.
for green and blue rock.
Very good.
Smith friend. Could do. Yes.
Very good.
Could do. Had forge. Not have forge. But could help if find way. City. Yes.
Yes.
Is there a forge in the Dwarven city?
Many.
Could always do it there.
No, we should bring them back to Christian.
None of us are trained in smithing.
How hard could it be?
It is
Very.
So anyways,
Apply heat.
If you see this man that we described,
Yes.
tell him that Mary Bell's friends are inside.
Mary Bell, friend.
Yes.
Okay. We'll say hello, Mary Bell, friend.
Yes.
Okay. Me lay trees down here.
Thank you.
Okay.
very good. We will return, and we will bring you with us to the city.
Yes.
We will find a way for you to have new friends there.
Yes.
Good.
How tall is this man?
17 feet, 18 feet.
Very.
We'll just hide him in the walls.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
How large was the pile of stones that he was in?
It went to the ceiling, which was about 21 to 22 feet.
So it's not like he was like compressed under a.
Nope. I mean, he was pretty
Yeah.
pretty tightly wound in there, just
Like a
like
big
a
stone blanket.
pretty much
A weighted
a very
blanket.
weighted blanket.
Anxiety's cool.
Weighted blanket, Giles Corey edition.
Thank you for your help,
Yes. Yalum.
Edostan.
Yes. Friends now.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Thank for food.
You're welcome.
If find bear, Edostan bring bear.
Yes, please.
We will gladly
Okay.
cook you anything.
Yes.
I don't.
Make
Upon our
sure
return.
the bear is dead.
And not.
Yes. Okay.
Not white.
Not white bear.
No white bears.
Okay. Only
Please.
Only brown bears.
only brown bears. Okay.
Even if the brown bear looks to be white.
Okay.
White
No.
brown bear.
I don't know how many. What about owlbear?
Sure.
Yes.
That's a different thing entirely.
Smush.
Smush. Yes.
Okay.
Every time.
Yes. Smush all.
There might be some owlbear left over in the woods.
Oh. Okay. If need go woods, we'll look.
We happened upon one earlier.
Yes.
I left its legs sticking up out of the ground. It should be easy to find.
What? Did you do that?
Yes, because
Yes.
I was
Yes,
going to
yeah.
carry it with
We
me.
hacked it off and then we left it on.
I was going to carry it with me, and then everyone yelled at me. So I just left it.
That might be too far for him to go.
He's going the other way.
If he
yes.
happens to go out that way.
Well, he might not find his way back. I would stay here.
Yes. Mountain climb.
Yes.
Stay close.
Take day or so. Climb.
Yes, and
Rip trees and
smush.
smush bears.
Yeah, yes.
Lot of work.
Good
Smush
day.
It was many years later they found out that this is the reason for all of the owlbears being
just a-
extinct.
A path of uprooted trees and smushed bears.
Wrong tree. Smush bear.
Oh, wrong bear.
Tree.
Oh.
Bear. Tree. Bear. Edelstone.
One
Tired
for
bear.
friends, one for me.
Oh no, I've smushed tree and uprooted bear.
Bears have no family now.
Divorce.
Life completely different.
New
Quit
dad
his
now.
job. Move to new city.
Yeah, I mean,
Start school in summer.
you would see him kind of like start to make his way back towards the pathway, slightly down towards the centered area where the cairns would be still slightly visible beneath the heights of the snow, and just kind of like take these lumbering steps, and you see him place his hands out to the sides, and he grabs the like peaks of these rocks and uses them as effectively railings and just begins awkwardly climbing his way up, and you see him like, that's a stone giant we just made friends with. And he's fucking climbing a mountain for us to go rip up some trees. What a guy.
What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
A friend.
Hi ho.
Avalanche. Yeah, you guys are standing here with Rearda, who's just kind of like, that was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Kind of forgot Ruda was here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, that's fine.
At least you'll fit in the cave with us.
Yeah, definitely.
We
As
should
long as
get
I'm like
to
this.
looking into
Yeah.
this entrance.
I get real big when I get angry.
Great.
Just gonna look at
Turn
Vorst.
green.
No, like a terrifying reddish brown.
Oh, fun.
Yes. And horns get bigger and my arm spikes get, I guess you could say,
Spikier.
spikier. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's nice. It's really good for shredding stuff.
I'm gonna say into his mind, you're just now telling us this?
I mentioned it a little bit before. Yeah.
Which thank you very much, or I Twitch. I'm still not 100% certain which one it is, but thank you very much for the resub. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. That's fine. I just become like a horrible demon when I get angry.
Same.
So don't make
Do
him
you?
angry.
Except when I get sad.
Oh, yeah, dude. Different emotional regulation skills.
Do you get angry often?
No.
We can discuss
As long
this.
as I have, you know.
Yeah, I'm
inside.
gonna start walking into the cave as I'm just scratching my head.
Yeah, so we are making our way inside this cave.
Yep.
Cool, we're gonna take a fucking break.
We'll be right back,
Oh
friends.
no. Demon hole.
Is it time?
Welcome back, everyone.
We have returned.
Oh, they look good.
Do gifted subs count towards the goal? Yeah, they do. I think I have to update it manually, Vulpix, but yes, they do. I always update after stream.
I love that the brownies are framed in the background.
They are.
It just looks like some.
They made it into the shot.
Thank God.
Some dirt
Some
and earth.
rocky.
Hey, thank you very much, Vulpix, for the 5 gifted subs.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Vulpix. Yeah, so we're making our way inside this first beautiful cavern. Well, we don't have any other sources of light outside of our dark vision, correct? Unless anybody is utilizing something to cast? Or...
Yeah, I mean, would my light on the torch would have worn off from Snezgrim?
Probably.
I would have put away my regular torch and just kept that one out.
I think it only lasts 10 minutes.
It lasts an hour.
An hour?
Okay.
So, I mean...
It's probably been more than an hour, though, because we cooked for him before we
Yeah,
left.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it's
put light on the thing when we walked into that cave.
It's
Okay,
a
yeah.
cantrip if you want it back.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, no. So I wouldn't have it out right now, though. So I can't. How far can I see?
Well, I mean, in terms of like the light that would be entering from the outside on a slightly overcast day, I would say maybe like 15 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
Give you some kind of dim lit vision. For those of you who have the dark vision, it feels like the 60 feet for the majority of you. All you see is an unending sense of blackness. You see the stone floors in front of you, clearly defined and refined and constructed. It looks like there is actually a pathway here that was laid over the natural rock formations. The walls themselves, for what you guys are able to see as you enter, are still the natural stone formations. For those of you who have any sense of familiarity in terms of trade, you would understand that roads are central to being able to actually safely and consistently transport, coinciding with what Adelstan has indicated to you that this was an exit utilized for trade. The area is right around you for what you're able to see in the 180 degrees ahead of you, because the cave kind of bottlenecks inward almost in a cylindrical style shape as it descends back. The walls themselves are still the natural stone cut formations where you're able to see that they have been intentionally flattened over time through some sort of tool manipulation, but you're able to see that they are natural, however flattened and smoothed. You can see that as well. There are pillars that ascend up to the ceilings. The ceilings in here are about 18 feet in height. But the pillars themselves look as though they are actually laid of granite and mortar and ascended as constructions to ensure structural integrity of this cavern. Probably right around the edges of your vision, you're able to see the front, like the front portions.
60 feet, like in here somewhere.
Yep, you're able to see the front portions of a pair on either side of dilapidated carts, where the woods themselves for the structural front of the cart is broken and cracked. You can see that inside of them, it looks to be there's some kind of storage container. The barrels themselves are physically there for the map. However, they would just look like these flayed out, conical shaped kind of spindle pieces of the wood, where you could see the metal banding for which was previously used to hold them together. But you would see them burst open, contents of what looks like small chiseled pieces of granite and other stones kind of splayed out on the ground in front of the carts themselves, as though there might have been other contents in here, but all that remains are these meaningless, worthless stones. That is all that you see before you in terms of your 60 feet of dark vision at the moment. The ceilings as well I will also describe in terms of, again, being comparable to the walls themselves. Any stalactites that would have been descending from the ceilings, you can see little chipped pieces of where they have been cleared away to ensure that there is no treacherous terrain inside of this cavern.
Nothing to like fall down on them.
Correct.
Interesting.
We should put some light out.
Muffle through my bag for a torch.
Same reason as before.
Sure.
If there is anything,
It knows.
it will know before we will. So
We-
it can't hurt.
Grab the end of his torch and cast light on it.
You cast light on his torch.
Yeah.
Cool. You see this sudden illumination burst out. What is the distance for bright and dim?
20.
20.
I'm gonna double check, but
Do the same thing with my bone lantern, cast light on the inside.
On the little wick you have.
yep, 20 bright, 20 dim.
Yeah, so I will say that your dark vision extends out from the dim, so you would be able to see the 20 feet brightly, and then you're now able to see in totality 80 feet out, because the dark would extend from the 20 of that.
Float it 5 feet up, 10 feet in front of us.
10 feet out in front of you? Yeah, as you start to cascade this, flickering sensation of light, you get a better illumination of the walls around you guys. You're able to see that there are clear indentations for what would be interpreted as the obvious strike points from a pickaxe or another blunt object. You can see that in some points, you see that there are rocks that are large, almost boulder-shaped. However, in the areas in which the rocks themselves look as though they might have parted, where these boulders would have been pushed against to place, you can see pointed, like, piton-style chisel pieces cracked in to be able to maintain the structural integrity, because they didn't utilize mortar in this. This was being boulders that were effectively here, and they're attempting to shape to keep. You can see that there are these long, like, conic-shaped things chiseled and cracked into them. You said you floated about 10 feet ahead?
Yep, 10 feet.
Right at the edges of what would be your dark vision on the Sarah side of the walls, on the opposite side, beyond the carts and the broken pieces of barrel and rubble that exist on the ground, you would see what looks like a small, dilapidated weapon rack. Yes. You would see that it is covered currently in cobwebs that attach backwards and elevate up towards the height of the wall. They kind of, the like gossamer thread just slightly glistens off the light that you're cascading out. So you get that little bit of shiny glimmer in the distance.
Do any of the weapons look to be intact?
From the distance that you are at in the dark vision, it's going to be very difficult for you to discern that,
Fair.
I will say.
Fair.
I don't like when you reuse words.
What word?
Glimmer.
Well, I'm gonna start walking in.
It's fine.
I'm gonna give a good old deep whiff of the room, kind of get the lay of the land as for smells.
Sure, absolutely. You can make your perception check for smell with advantage.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Nice.
Yeah, I will say that beyond what is indicated to you in terms of what you would associate with traditional cavern smells, one of the things that you're getting that is unfamiliar to you is a different type of stone. It feels almost chalky. Like if you were to clap like talcum powder, you would get that kind of like strange odor that like, again, we're going to associate it with like baby powder, but like you get that kind of huff of a clean kind of powdery substance in the area. You would as well smell the like lingering cantankerous odor of what would be associated for you with old bones.
Great.
As opposed to those new bones.
Correct.
That new bone smell.
That new wet bone smell? No, this is old, cracked like marrow bone.
Like old rot.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Seems that there must be an entrance further back in the cave.
Smells like spider stuff.
Great. Love those.
Paul's gotta go!
I didn't paint any of those.
I don't have any fire spells, so...
I know!
Don't worry, I do.
Definitely something long dead in here.
Well,
I suppose we should proceed it with caution, of course.
I'll do my best.
Are we going to Moria?
start heading further into the cave.
You know,
Sure.
Yeah, same.
here we go.
Take me with you.
Yeah. You tell me how far you want to go, and you're continuing to elevate your
Yep.
the torch
Continue.
inside of the hand.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm gonna creep
10 feet in
along
front, 5 feet in the
wall
air.
Again.
5 feet in
Creep.
front, 5 feet in.
I'm gonna
go
creep
this
the other
way.
side, the same side as me.
Sticking with you guys in the center.
Yep, I will be too.
So, am I able to see the ceiling?
Where's Rudigal?
Ruda would stay towards the entrance and still be looking out to ensure that nobody's coming in. You said that it's 5 feet
5
up,
feet up, yeah.
up from you, so 11 in the air. Yeah, absolutely. You'd be able to see the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. As you're going through, you able to the light itself. Obviously, it's not flames, but like even still, the motion of the light would mirror flames. So you would see the like shadows lick along the grooves inside of the ceiling itself. So the walls are primarily flat constructions based on how well they have smoothed and weathered them out. The ceilings are definitively more grooved, where you're able to see at certain points it dips. Like I indicated that they broke the stalactites. That's a concern in terms of breakage and potential lethality just from the terrain. It feels like they left the actual grooves naturally in the stone here.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You don't see any indications of like webs or any other creatures. You don't see any like what I would indicate to you would be
No other living things or anything.
Sure, I would also say that you don't see anything that would give you the indication of like a shaft. You don't see anything that's like an opening that has been in any way formed or utilized.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so who is the individual? Sarah, that's you by the back corner over there behind
Sarah's
that pillar.
over there.
Creeping.
Vorst, and then the rest of us are in the middle here.
Okay. So I will go kind of like a clockwise or a counterclockwise from Rita this way, just so this way I do the primary group last. So Rita is still going to be keeping watch in terms of the entrance to make sure that nothing's coming in after you guys, especially now that we have light illuminating out from the cavern. Ritora, where you are right back there, you're able to see that the stone-laden base is wide as you approach it. It looks as though it is closer to about 8 to 10 feet, and it is very thick around. Because it is a square base, you're able to see now as you approach it, it looks like granite bricks. Again, they did utilize like a limestone, like soft mortar to be able to keep this. So you can see that there are large partings between the carved out, chiseled out stone bricks. But again, this is definitively well constructed. And even though that, as we are aware, fell farther than has fallen some time ago, it's not like there is upkeep here, but the integrity that does still maintain from this stone is an indication of how well constructed it is. Even for an individual like Ritora who doesn't know much about stoneworking, I think it's fair to say, like, this is old and this still looks nice. This is cool. In terms of the other corners, like where you are, you don't see anything like even where the obvious inladen road matches towards the base of the cavern itself. Like, it looks as though whatever was cleared out was cleared into an area, and there is the smooth, continuous surface for the roads. So you're not seeing any bumps or any unleveled areas. As you are here, you can see that there are markings along the stones where it looks as though the impressions of things being dragged. You can see like not necessarily like scorch marks, because I don't want to indicate like use of fire in this area, but you would see small divots or dents, little like small splotches where maybe things have been spilled, like soiled, darker stains along the stones in the corner here. And then Glenn, you are the one by the cart, correct? Yeah, so as you are near this cart, I will ask you to make a perception check. 21. So in the gravel that has cascaded down here from the cart that is just kind of lingering, you can see that along the heights of some of it, stretching down from the corners of the dilapidated cart, you can see that there are thin gossamer threads of a spider web that looks as though it kind of precariously dangles down over a portion of this. The illumination of like the light shining off of this kind of reflects off of the gossamer threads, and you're able to see along the layerings of the silt and soil and stones what feels like a faint sensation of like a sparkle, like broken down little pieces. If you were to, for example, look at like sand, and you were able to see, based off the reflection of light, polished stones. Very fine.
And that's
Here amidst this rubble.
underneath of the the spider web.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Why are you looking at me?
You're the one who wanted to go into this cave.
I want to go back to the hole.
I get high with that stone giant.
Yeah, no,
Sucks.
yeah. Actually, we make pissed off the giants and then go back to the other hole.
Bring the giant to the other hole.
Yeah.
That other hole was
Now
fucked.
that I see that
Correct.
web coming
even
off
have a
of the
map.
corner there and across, does that go to the wall, like the web itself? Like, can I trace it across to see where?
No, the web would actually elevate up towards the pillar that is behind the cart.
Oh,
So it
okay,
would
so it
be-
goes this way.
Correct.
So, I'm gonna follow that up and look. From the light, can I see a reflection of that web continuing in any other direction from the top of that pillar, or from off of the pillar?
Yes. I will say that you see that it meets at the height of this pillar, where it kind of narrows out and kind of thins towards the height, and then it concludes in a more circular kind of cobweb. And at the top, you can just see a spider relaxing in the center, kind of motionless amidst the light.
How big?
I mean,
Is it spider size, or is
Bigger
it
than it.
spider size?
no, it's just spider size. I would say, it would fit mostly in the central portion of your palm. So it's a pretty large spider, but it's just sitting there motionless.
It's a large spider for like day-to-day spiders.
Correct.
But
But
a
not a
small
large,
spider.
monstrous spider by D&D standards.
Yes.
This is just a spider.
By my
So like, would we go with
standards.
like small for Australia?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Australian small. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see it motionless, just kind of light reflecting off of it. It's a very smooth black color against the gossamer threads of the spider's web.
No, it was better when I thought it was fuzzy.
No.
Ew.
John, I hate to do this. I am in plate mail
Yeah,
in a cave.
yeah.
Making a lot of goddamn noise.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're also a disco ball.
Yeah, the light's
Yeah.
reflecting
True.
off you.
I am.
Oh shit.
If anyone's calling attention to us, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fine.
I'm not going to ask you to make a stealth check.
Thank you, John.
Because they already know.
It's
that
already
you're here.
failed.
You're
Auto
illuminated,
fail.
my good friend. You're very illuminated. It's all fine.
Yeah.
The subtitle said, "I'm in a white male in a cave."
Off the coast of Nova Scotia.
There it is. We've done it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I will say that is what you're able to see, Glenn. I
Don't
do not
like
know if you would like to interact with anything. If not, I will jump over to the larger group. Or if you intended to simply inform them of what you've seen.
Did you say ew?
Yeah. Oh, do I? Ew.
Yeah. You guys-
Spiders.
It is an old cave.
Sure.
Mhm.
I hope they don't get much bigger than that.
Not a fan of spiders.
Not a fan of anything that may want to kill me.
It's very small.
For the group that is here, Vorst, I guess you would also be able to see, simply because of where Felix is holding aloft the light, the lit torch, you would be able to see right at the edge, in the dark vision of your grayscale, you would be able to see these very large, about 9 to 10 foot tall, horizontal shapings of rock that are very difficult to discern in terms of the distance that they are away from you currently. You would see what looks like a pair of them, separated probably by about 20 to 25 feet. But difficult to distinguish what they actually look like at the distance you are at.
Yep. Take me with you.
Yep. Same.
Charging forward.
Moving on up.
Moving on up to the
Just
copyright.
trying to get into the middle of the cave for the vampire to drop on us.
Where would you like to
Ah, shit.
I'm just gonna
If
continue.
I've learned anything from exploring
keeping
the
around the
cave,
perimeter?
She's
Around
gonna
the
stand
perimeter.
me up like in front of that.
Trying to get like a full
Yes.
view.
Okay.
Checking out the walls, checking out the room.
Very good.
Like you have your hand out, like you're just.
Why do I hear boss music? Why do I hear boss music?
This isn't the boss music yet, Paul.
He flips over to the Doom soundtrack. Hold
This is the
on.
boss.
No, you want the boss music. They'll give you the boss music.
Don, it's okay. He's not actually putting on the boss music.
It's okay, Don.
Yeah,
We're gonna make it.
Where you guys are now, in terms of the bright light, you are able to see. Oh, she needs a pen. I was like, are you trying to?
It was her
indicate
other
something?
one.
Oh, okay. It's like very confused. Yeah, you guys are able to see that as you get towards the back walls here, it changes from a natural stone wall to a wall that matches the composition of the brick flooring. It looks as though whatever was constructed here at the back edge is well maintained in terms of how it was originally put together. So the ceilings, you can see that the bricks are still intact from top down. Obviously, the bricks that we've got for the walls are limited by what we own, so they're going to
But
look
it's
broken.
full height
It
of
is
the cavern.
full height.
Everywhere that we're seeing it here is
Correct.
Full height.
Full height, still intact. It is, grayscale because of the distance for what you guys are able to discern, but you're able to at least get out the sensation that it is still the same granite-style construction for what is the road bricks below you. And you're able to better see these two large stonic statues. They look as though they are not constructed of granite, but a glassy black stone.
Oh boy.
That shimmers and reflects off the light. They look mostly intact, however, obviously the statues aren't intended to be horizontal. With where you guys are, you can see that they're missing the lower halves. It looks as though something fractured them, shattered them. You do not see any splayed pieces of this black volcanic kind of shiny looking stone along the ground here.
Do we see anywhere where they might have fallen off of?
Yes, actually, that is genuinely why, again, we don't have pedestals, but those rocks that are there are the intended bases. You can see that they were once standing on granite cylindrical shaped pedestals that are about 9 to 10-ish feet in width. The statues themselves, for the composition that does exist here on the ground, these half-framed heights are about 8 feet tall.
so proportionately. How tall do they seem like they might have stood once?
Almost to the ceiling. Maybe about a foot shy.
Very large.
Correct, yeah. The ceiling was about 17-ish feet, 18 feet in height, like a 2-foot high pedestal, and then about 15 feet worth of statue height. So just
And-
genuinely effectively to the height.
Are we seeing this arch at the back wall at this point?
You're seeing it in grayscale. You would see that the grayscale wall looks as though I put a wall behind it, but you can see that it is a slat door where there is no
So
indication.
there's not even an indent there.
Correct.
It's
Yep.
there's like
You can see
the
the frame.
semblance of a frame, but
Correct. Mhm.
it's covered over.
Correct.
Okay.
And yes, you can see adjacent to it, there looks like, again, you're not going to be able to see it at the distance that you are, but you can see that there is some kind of carving along the wall, what would be associated with a sign. But you're not able to see what it says. Very far away.
I'm gonna keep
I
moving.
mean, yeah,
forward.
I would move
Continuing
towards the left statue.
Okay.
so you're heading this way.
Yep. I would keep the light closer to me, but
Mhm.
still kind of towards the center.
I would step up and fill that gap where he was.
You're heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
Before I move myself, near the weapons rack,
Yes.
what's on it? Like,
Yeah,
So it's
while the
right up
light
in
is
there,
still
buddy.
in the area, what you're able to see, and I mean, you're in its presence, you're able to see that it is a pair of rusted, broken battle axes that are missing the head, so all that is remaining is the shaft on each of them. For one of them, what looks like it would have been a larger double-headed axe. You can see that one of the axe heads is chipped in half. So a portion of the sharp edges of the frame remains. There is a cracked portion where the opening for before the blade head is chipped away. The other one, it looks as though the central portion of it is broken inwards. The shaft itself is also hewn and kind of like stripped, so you can see the timber framing split apart. And then you would also see one small on the ground, what looks like a hammer in terms of what we've purchased previously for adventuring gear, for what is utilized in smaller framing work for either hammering in of pitons or spikes for tents and things like that. That hammer looks like it's intact. It's a small hammer, only about yay big.
Does it look comparable in age to
Yes.
the battle axes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Because I'd have been worried if we just found some fresh adventuring gear and no person. Right, cool. So from there, I'm going to move.
Towards the other friends?
Yeah, well, kind of between, right about there. Perfect.
Yeah. Cool. Sarah, you're continuing to keep a good view around everything, walking underneath the beautiful spiderweb?
Did anyone tell me about the spider?
He said it
I
out
said there were
loud.
spiders.
He said, ew, he said they're spiders.
Rachel is not afraid of spiders.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cautiously.
Should she be?
I've been afraid of spiders since the incident.
Can't be afraid if you did.
So, I mean, you continue walking, you see the threads of silk above you kind of...
Cautious. Not gonna go right into the web, but
Yeah, I don't think you're going to walk into the web. Totally fine. Cool. So, we will once more resolve in this direction. So that is Sarah. Glenn, as you approach, you're able to see again, as I indicated now to them, but you are more proximate in the area, you're able to see the granite pedestal that is at the bottom. And at the bottom, you can see a large chiseled runic symbol that you are not familiar with in terms of its language. Carved into the base, almost like on a placard.
So the base was the same kind of granite, and then the statue itself was like a black stone.
Correct.
Is it the same looking stone as what Oshuamp's built out of?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, it is.
How does it compare to the statues of the Watchers?
Watchers are also the same construction, yes. Mm-hmm.
Does that frame look big enough to put a statue fully completed through?
No. No.
Does this entrance look big enough to put a statue fully completed through?
No.
So it was finished here,
Perceivably.
or it was here already, and it was chiseled out of something that was already there.
Perceivably. You do not see in the walls or in the ceilings any stone that matches the same coloration as you see on the statue, though.
Great. Do we see any clean breaks in where it's crumbled, like from where it's pieced together from multiple stones into one to be carved?
I will ask you to make... We'll make it an investigation check because we're trying to discern whether or not we can see any particles amidst this. Hello, Don.
How tall were the statues of the Watchers?
Like 18, 20 feet. in
Okay,
height.
never mind.
18.
18? Yeah.
18.
I will say that as you are standing here, because of the cascading light out from Felix's illumination that is aloft, you're able to see, it almost looks as though if we were to get a clean break, like a cut through. So traditionally, instead of opening like a wine bottle or a champagne bottle, when you uncork it, if you're able to take a sharp enough knife and you get that slice through and you get that clean, smooth break, you see along the lower waist lining of this statue that same smooth, horizontal cut.
It's not good.
Mm-mm.
It's fine.
I'm sure it's totally
what
fine.
could possibly be wrong?
Big hot swords.
In my area?
We've got it all on this show. We've got hot goblins. We got hot swords.
Big hot swords cutting through these rocks.
Like a hot sword through butter.
Yes, and I will also say that is the side in which the shield arm is as well separated. You would see that same cut separation, smooth, clean through.
It's almost like broken, what's it called? Blackstone, like broken obsidian, where it has like that glassy.
Beautiful obsidian.
And you said it does not appear that there are any fragments of whatever else was previously
Correct.
presumably there. You wouldn't know it from looking at it.
Correct.
Outside of the shape of it being a person, you'd assume it once had legs.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. What's up?
Well, I didn't see it because it's on the other side of this wall.
Oh.
What's with the little man?
What little man?
Oh man.
Oh. You mean this?
I would be able to see
Sign.
him.
Yeah, the
sign
sign.
on
He
the
said
wall?
there was a sign. There was
I
a
thought there
shape
was
of a sign.
Oh, I didn't realize that's a sign.
What's with the little man? Like, what the fuck? Who is he? Yeah, no. Now that you guys are closer into the area, though, I will tell you that you can see that signpost is, in fact,
A little man.
a little man.
You must be this tall to ride.
A relief statue.
Okay.
So you're able to see,
That's a
What a
relief.
relief.
right? You're welcome. I figured I'd give you some kind of murder!
I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm like, what is that? What is that? What is that?
I
yeah, no,
honestly didn't even see it.
you can see that it is a relief statue. It is, again, the figure that is there is not indicative of what it actually is. You can see that it is a small dwarven face where there is a great helm where the stem kind of comes down and covers over the nose, so you can just see the opening of what is obviously indicated for the visor. You can see this kind of long, carved out, upside down triangular shaped like conic beard that kind of concludes after about an inch or so. The relief statue itself for the face doesn't look very large, maybe only about 2.5 feet. But next to it, you can see words carved in Dwarvish.
Nope.
I don't know why I even bothered to look.
You said there was a runic symbol on the base of the statues too, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the shape of it? Like, what would the symbol look like?
I am the worst at drawing. It's fine.
I speak 2 languages.
Would you
Common,
permit me
Elvish.
just an investigation check in
Celestial
general on
and
the statue?
common.
On the statue?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Celestial has come up a lot.
Clearly.
Can I help you? I'm waiting.
So am I.
Okay.
You can roll your investigation.
21 with bonus.
21.
Nice.
Thankfully, this one is not super hard to draw. I fucked it up.
How?
I'm kidding.
Okay. No, it's not. Is it at least complex?
No.
Are you serious?
There you go.
I don't like that,
Is
John.
it just? Is it?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a tree with hands.
Christmas tree.
It looks similar to one from Prince's.
What's up?
How does this dwarven architecture and this relief statue compare to the dwarven architecture beneath the chapel at the orphanage?
Comparable in quality and the use of limestone as mortar.
Great.
Paul, you said 21 for your investigation check?
Yep.
Yeah, I will tell you the effectively same information that had been described to Glenn. I will also say that you are able to tell that forming or shaping of obsidian in this is very difficult because of how structurally fragile obsidian is.
So, talent.
Oh, yes.
Or magic.
Or
that.
luck.
Magical talent.
What is luck but magical talent?
I'm gonna throw something at you.
I'm gonna look over to Yalom Law. Do you speak Dwarvish? I do not remember.
I do not. I believe that Felix does, though.
Yes. Felix.
I'm over here rubbing a
You
statue.
need...
That's.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna look over.
We need your brain when you have a second.
In the meantime, what's the circle?
You mean the circle?
It's a circle that I step into.
No, I would say that it looks like it is a small etching in what looks like chalk on the ground. Where you can see that there is obvious dust overlaid it, but you can see that traced. It looks as though the etching itself is obviously chiseled into the stone, but it looks as though it is filled with a chalky white powder.
I'm gonna just.
You're gonna what now?
Why do you do these things? Why do you do
That's
these
a
things?
big circle.
Why
Like, you're
do you
going to be
do these
doing it
things?
for a while.
It's not dust. It's a white substance, and you're gonna blow it out.
Well, he said it's covered in dust, so I
You're
want to
going
clear
You
to
the
say
said
dust.
it's
airborne.
filled with dust.
And then it has dust over
It's
top of it.
runes.
There's dust over top of it too, right?
DJ.
It's filled with
Just,
chalk.
just.
The dusts have mixed.
If I put
I want
a
to see how this
pile of
plays
dust
out.
on a table and then I put some dust on top of it, the way you're going to get to the bottom dust is by blowing on all of the dust. That's what you're telling me right
If
now.
it's in the etching, it's not going to so easily blow away as the dust on
It's
top.
not
Are
like
you
it to
getting
be
the
in the
other
air.
Have you ever like
sideways?
blown on dust in a downward motion and had it like, I don't know, reverberate into your face?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay.
Did you ever
Well, then
empty-
you're prepared for what's about to happen.
I'm going to ask you to make a blow check, please.
Any
Please
modifier?
make an
Do you have
dexterity.
Performance?
No. I'm not giving him his charisma bonus.
Come on.
This is a non-dex character that I'm asking to do a dexterous thing. So it's a dexterity ability check.
10.
10. Yeah, I mean, I will say that you just kind of, I guess,
Perfectly adequate.
slightly an acceptable blow. You kind of like, I guess, see it and just like the overwhelming sensation to be like, that looks dirty, overcomes you. So you lean down and give it a swift blow.
Like your heart
You're
wasn't in it.
And you can see that amidst the circular shape here, as you blow over the dust, it does part. It parts, and you can see that what looks like the white powder down below it is what is actually the imagery of a different shade of rock. So it only looks powdery on the exterior. So if you were to look at like, when you go to like the beach or anything like that, and you get the like powdery white kind of gritty stones, you would see that is what is actually here at this circle. As you blow on the dust, you're able to see that extending out from the perimeter of this, what look like thin, straight lines, also etched into the stone, coming out from the circle. What we would classify typically as a drawing of the sun. Like, you're a child, you draw a circle, and you just have, just get the fucking lines out here. There is, now that the dust has been evacuated of the area, you see the same sensation of like the white, different kind of structured rock below.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody else ask me a question? Sorry,
Yes.
it's been a while.
As I was touching the stone, is it covered in dust, dirt, sediment, anything, or is it kind of clean?
Clean.
Okay. And I'm feeling it.
Eerily clean and smooth. You're gonna touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You touch it and you get this kind of like chilling sensation.
Huh.
An old,
Just it's cold? Or
cold stone. Very smooth though. Like running your hands over glass. A little bit squeaky.
DJ Felix.
What,
Takes his glove off and just.
That hurt me, and that wasn't even. Ugh.
I'm gonna cast. Nope, I'm gonna stop.
He did it!
Gonna stand in the center of the circle.
Right?
It says Nesgrim, step here.
Fuck around and find out.
I'm gonna look at it and look at the circle in the center. And the line's kind of going out. That looks kind of similar to a star.
Or the sun.
I'm going to look at it closely. Does it remind me of anything other than what you described to him? It's a radial design. Looks akin to a very basic sun.
Yeah. Effectively, yes. Yeah.
very simple? If I like get down and does it have more detail than, or is it just very straightforward?
Very straightforward and simple.
Wonder what would happen if I cast light on the center of it.
I would not do that until we read the sign.
Into his mind, no.
Without looking up.
Not even looking up, still touching the stone. No.
Do you remember what happened the last time you cast light in a hole?
Yeah.
Do not do that again, please. Especially not on...
Not until we're ready.
Well, that is a way of putting it.
We should certainly examine that door frame and whatever is on that sign.
Yes.
Though I imagine we will need Felix to read it.
Okay.
Fine, dude.
We need your large brain.
I'm
shifting.
Yeah,
run
I'm gonna
across to the other.
walk over to it.
One.
As I'm walking over, I'm gonna kind of look down at whatever he just did.
Yeah, no, you see a very simple design etched into the floor.
That statue.
Okay.
Send that on
You
back.
stay there.
Same
So-
symbol.
Same symbol
Same
on both
symbol
sides?
On both
Sick.
sides, yes.
I'm gonna continue to creep.
And you said that symbol was on the bottom where the cut is, right?
The symbol that I gave to Glenn?
Yes.
No, it is on the pedestal. It is
On the
carved into the
pedestal.
granite of the
Okay.
pedestal, not on
Face of the pedestal or the base of the pedestal?
base of the pedestal, so we'll be looking
On the
at front facing.
on the front face,
The
like you would have seen it approaching it.
Correct.
I know I'm not over there, but I'm gonna forget by the time I am. The thing carved into, in the ground, is it sunken in or is it flush with the rest of the stone on the floor? The circle.
Oh, sunken in, forgive
Sunken
me.
in.
Yep.
Sunken in, but even with the infill in it, it sits below the rest of the circle. Okay.
I'm gonna
Approaching the writing.
bring my light a little bit closer.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Dad, Paul, read that out loud, not Felix.
Yep.
Paul.
Yeah. So, John, we're gonna read it together.
Let me go back and open that document.
It's the same thing.
Day.com.
It's clown.
Day.
God. It's worse than I
Ooh,
imagined.
yeah. Day.com.
Oh, you just want me to actually read it?
Oh, yeah.
Kahru Garak Az Arnkith. I'm not reading this out loud.
Yeah.
I'm not reading this out loud. Nal Barakor Barakrin Il Verfarthen Bel
Okay.
Eon As as Idaris Rak Farthen Der Estver As Knurl Il Fatum.
Correct. You
That's
would
how you read a foreign languages. Teacher.
You in Dwarven would know. Messenger of the White City, hail those who shield the passage to Frostfather. Kneel and let the blood of our father call the stone to listen.
Would you translate that out loud?
Yes.
Frostfather. Is that Felfarther?
Can you hit me with that one more time?
Messenger of the White City, hail those who shield the passage to Frostfather. Kneel and let the blood of our father call the stone to listen.
Someone got that right.
The doorway's not open, right?
Mm-mm. I don't think it's light that needs to go in that circle. I think it's blood.
Felix, the other symbol on the floor. Does it hold any meaning in your recollection?
No. I mean, I can do a history roll, but it's very basic.
For what, the symbol?
The symbol, yeah.
You literally speak Dwarven. We're in Dwarven ruins. It might mean something to you that it doesn't mean to the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at it. He said it just...
It's an incredibly simple description.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that for you, even with knowing Dwarvish, it's most associated with just a rudimentary depiction of the sun.
Yep. What about this symbol? that we found at the base of the pedestal.
That I'm gonna ask you to make a history check on.
19.
Nice.
Give me 1 second. This is what is the translation. 19?
Yep.
I will tell you that is a symbol that you associate with material components utilized in spells, and that particular material is sulfur. Hello, DJ. You got a 19?
Yes.
I would also tell you that you, through tangential education from your father, would know that as a form of studying magic, the properties and principles of it, there is alchemy and its intention.
Great.
To better design magic.
Sorry, you're gonna have to hit me with that again. I kind of was lost. You said has to do with alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
So with this symbol, it's saying that there's not just sulfur, but also something else associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just gonna turn and go back to the base of the statue next to Vorst.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of this?
Symbol for sulfur with a little extra. Perhaps has to do with alchemy.
What is alchemy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're the only person who remotely knows what the fuck that is.
Chemistry and magic.
What is chemistry?
Can it make us some dwarf blood?
Maybe.
What does the symbol on the statue mean? Or on the pedestal?
Sulfur.
Okay. Does anyone have some sulfur?
Oh yes, let me just pull it out of my bag.
Oh, my eyes!
You never know.
No, Nesgrim, I don't have any sulfur.
I might have an egg in my pack.
Vorst, do you know what sulfur smells like, right? We've smelt sulfur before.
Like the swamp?
Egg.
You smell any of that in here?
Para 8s, damn. I was doing so good. It's gonna be a 10.
No, you do not get the smell of sulfur in here.
Killing me, Glenn.
Your translation of this inscription, it seems that lines up with Edelstan's description of this entrance.
Yes.
It seems to be some sort of trade gate.
I guess.
Do we know who the messengers from this white city would have been? And how they might have related?
Do we even know what the White City is?
In that passage, what did Esther translate to? Because I remember hearing that.
Like
Call.
coming.
Summoning.
You said the etching on the floor, it's divoted.
Well, if
I'm gonna start scooching all that dust back into the to fill the holes again.
Sure.
if Felfarthen here means Frostfather, and this is Felfarthen through that door, the blood of our father, Felfarthen, would be ore or gems, I assume. That is what was taken out of here.
What does the dust feel like as I'm moving it? Is it grittier or is it super fine?
It's pretty fine.
Does it smell like anything in particular or no?
Well, it smells like stone and dirt.
Whatever bars this passage, it seems it should acknowledge both physical action and the presenting of some sort of component. I imagine in that circle. Yes.
If it's of any help, there may be components in the barrels.
That would be helpful, yes.
It couldn't hurt to look
Shimmery
into
dust, I don't know. But, spider. Spiders. I've killed hags. Fuck a spider.
Right? I don't like that shit.
Maybe it's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
Excuse me, Mr. Spider.
it. The end is near.
Doomsayer spider?
Perhaps we should fan out and search the room for any trace of what may have come out of this
I've checked the side.
mountain.
There's a spider.
Mm-hmm.
Voice said there was something in those barrels. Or what remains of barrels.
I also think that we might need to cover this sun. If these dwarves spent most of their time underground, the sun would probably be something that they either do not wish to see or saw less commonly. So perhaps we have to kneel and fill that indent with something.
It's possible.
Felix, what do you know of sulfur?
Volatile?
Mm-hmm.
Reacts with flame, correct?
Oh, it's all fun.
Yes, it can be used to ignite.
Mm-hmm.
It's an accelerant.
I wonder if if we
Light
need
up the sun.
if we need to ignite sulfur on that circle. Well, let's try to find some sulfur.
I don't think it's gonna just be lying around.
You
I
never
didn't
know.
smell any.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, let's...
Or perhaps something else that's extremely flammable.
You said your symbol for sulfur was modified?
Yes. Would I know which portions of the modification is it the...
For the symbol for sulfur?
Yes.
It's not necessarily that the symbol itself is distinctly modified. It's more that you know that alchemy is used to modify things.
Okay,
And that-
okay, that's what you meant.
And that alchemy is used as reactions or catalysts for events to occur.
Can I climb on top of this pedestal?
The one where the broken statue was?
Yeah.
Can you? Absolutely. Would I stop you? Not remotely.
I'm going to assess it and then...
Sure. Climb up?
Yeah.
Yeah. You take a, well, it's only about 2.5 feet high for the height of the pedestal. How are you climbing?
It's only 2.5 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
I can just step up.
It's a real big step, Sarah.
We can make it happen.
I mean, I don't know, maybe like scooch myself onto it.
Mm-hmm. You need to touch the statue with your hands, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm wearing gloves. I'm going to use my hands for everything I do, John. And I'm going to use my right hand because every time you ask, this is the first thing I do.
I know. Yeah, you place your gloved hands onto the pedestal and you feel just this... No, you feel the smoothness of the stone, obviously not on your fingertips, but like as you press your hand against it, the entire pedestal itself is smooth. You can feel that there is a slight bit of an indentation from where the weight of the statue itself was for what were obviously footprints. You ascend and stand amidst your friends here, elevated on this pedestal.
Ritora, what are you doing?
Getting a view of the room.
Nothing happens, no change.
Get down from there.
Okay.
You gotta break your neck.
Sure.
Get down.
Is there anywhere higher for me to climb onto?
Jeez.
These are they're just rock. There's
I would say that the, heights of some portions of the statue would definitely be higher than the pedestal.
like I'm examining everything around here.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing on top of things.
Do you want to climb on top of the
I'll
statue?
climb on top of the statue.
Okay.
It's a statue. If it
Sure
comes
it
to life,
is.
I don't think that's on me.
It's definitely a statue.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that you take a, hand and find a good gripping point along, we'll go with like the elbow or something of the statue, something that would obviously have some curvature where you get your fingers around. And get your fingers on it. Tightly grip with your gloves and pull yourself up and over and onto it. And at first, it's a little bit awkward, you're kind of like splayed out, but would you stand?
Yeah.
If you found like a flat kind of nimble surface, yeah, I'll say that you find along the upper portion of like the breastplate towards like the clavicles, you're able to find a good footing and stand.
Are they sideways or are they?
On their backs.
They're on their backs.
Mm-hmm. You're standing here on this very smooth statue.
I'm tall now.
So, if it's typically used in like alchemy equations or anything mathematical or anything that has to do with that process, I would assume that would be odd that it would be on the base of a statue. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I would say that for you, it's obviously not indicative of it being an equation here, more a code of some sort, possibly, or an indication of something.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go walk the right side of the room because I don't think we've done that yet.
The side by Lawrence and
Yeah.
Paul. No. Start to give that a good scour.
I'm gonna check the weapon rack first.
I'm moving over to the barrels over there.
Sure. Yeah. You guys can both roll investigation checks.
Sorry, Yalum, I misspoke. It's not modified, but it's odd that it would be here on the
Yes.
base.
19.
19? You're
18.
doing the weapon rack?
Yep.
Yeah. You find comparable to what Vorst found, where you find broken pieces of weaponry. You don't really see any armor, you don't really see any smithing tools or anything like that, or mining equipment. You find, a pair of broken battle axes with the heads mostly dilapidated off, and a small hammer.
Bless.
What the?
Oh, thank you.
There's
Fine.
just
Totally fine.
there's just statues here. Yeah, that is it for the weapon rack, though. Covered in dust and cobwebs, and the wood itself for what is the spokes on the exterior are pretty rotten and broken. You got a
18.
for the barrels?
Yes.
Yeah, I will say that again, you find pretty comparable to what Vorst found on the opposite side, where you find the splayed open, broken pieces of a barrel, where you find the metallic banding kind of stretched around as it has been split open. You can see that with that, I'll say that you see what would have been obviously the head of the barrel kind of split inwards with some sort of blunt or possibly sharp object to indent in on the barrel and splay it out sideways. And again, on the ground, you find large piles of granite and rubble, and amidst them you can see small pieces of what look like little speckles of some kind of glimmering stone beneath it, poking out through the dirt and soil.
So, being a man that deals with fire frequently, would I know from the white indentation in the sun if stuff like that happens to some types of stone if you light fires over and over again on them?
I'm going to say that is not something that you would realistically know, because when you've been outside in the wild, you've not been lighting your fires over stones.
Yeah, it's been on my brazier.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would as well say, like, even in the instances where you have been gathering, like stones to use in the construction of a campfire for the exterior, it's hard to tell.
Sure.
Especially because, like, you're doing it and then leaving.
Sure. Yeah,
You're
I
not
wasn't
like
sure.
staying at the campfire and observing the stones like at a later time.
Sure,
You would see more like the black scorched marks around the edges.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I would have seen that like in my hometown, since we did our ritual in the same location multiple times. Granted, it has been a number of years, but I don't know if that phenomenon might look familiar to
You can give me a history check, and I'll give you some kind of correlations.
Okay. Nope, 4.
4? Yeah, I mean, I'll say that again, same thing where your concentration on those things were more about the education for what
Sure.
you're attempting to do and not on the stones themselves.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the circle and look at Yalomlo and Felix. Is there a reason that we're not stepping on this?
The
I'll just
circle.
gesture.
And he's requesting a kneeling. And also some sort of...
If there was a place to kneel, I would assume that this would probably be it.
Yes? What do you think this blood is?
If it's blood of the Frostfather, I think it could be.
It does not
Or-
necessarily say that.
Could it be snow? Water?
I think the question here is, who was the father of whoever made this place?
I think the question is, where are these messengers from? We know that dwarves lived here. The father that they reference is our, while speaking to another. Perhaps a shared father. But there is no location by this name on the map that shows this place. Perhaps a dwarven word for someone else's city.
I could try to cast light in the center of the circle.
No.
We know that these dwarves worked with
Fine.
some amount of silver bark. And silver bark came from the north. And the people that lived there bear some relation to Ratora.
And the giant also told us of the silver that they were mining here.
What if
Is
it's just
silver like sulfur?
blood? What if,
No.
what if it is just blood?
There's only one way to find out.
I suppose so.
Is there anything in dwarvish society that they consider blood from stone?
You may roll a history check on that.
Nat 20.
Yes, I will tell you that actually Don was very onto it in terms of identifying themselves as one of the mountains of one of stone, indicating that it would be indicative of something associated with a stone.
I'm a dwarf IRL.
Correct.
It's just,
And I will say
He
that
is
if it
dwarfs.
is something associated with a Frostfather, perhaps something very cold that is in our possession, that is, in fact, a stone.
yeah, that was exactly my thought.
What?
The frost gems that we have. Yeah. I knew that immediately.
Those are the ones that we got at the bottom of the lake?
Yes.
Oh, we need those.
Ice diamonds.
We also need to get in there.
They seem pretty plentiful in a lake.
Also, but what about blood from stone part? Is there any? I know it's probably not relevant, but
Oh, blood from stone?
yes.
I mean, in terms of, like, again, association with dwarven cultural identities, it would be mostly about, as previously indicated, that, like, they identify themselves as children of rock and of stone.
Okay.
And you
And that
harvest
the
stones from
veins of a mountain are, in fact, their veins
Okay.
themselves.
I like dwarf stuff. just,
Rock stuff.
just this what it is.
Rocks.
I like rocks and.
Do you have a thought on
Stuff.
what we might
Play
offer?
dwarves.
Dwarf is in your blood.
It just is.
Because you are. You are a dwarf.
I don't suppose
your
it's something
blood
we
full of
happen to have
rocks?
on us.
That's not good, Don. You should see a doctor.
Yes.
Shall we?
Retora.
What?
Do you have the diamonds?
I don't think so. I think someone else has them.
Oh, fucking
If
remember.
someone-
That's on you guys.
I have my
I
one.
think.
It's one of you two.
I think
Yes.
I think you have it because you're carrying all the shit.
I have one.
He kept one. One of the two of you had it.
I probably
I think
have
it was you.
It's probably me.
Was you?
I've just been keeping the seeds. That's
Yeah,
all.
I'll walk over with it.
Rock seed.
Just shave a little of that
Shave
into the
it.
sun.
Yeah.
It's a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Yeah,
just
no,
shave
I know,
a
I know, I
diamond.
know.
Mhm. Yeah, you have a small, kind of, oddly imperfect shaped diamond.
How were we supposed to heat that?
A beautiful blue hint to it.
I'm straight kneeling on the sun.
Sure.
Somebody want to hand over this blood?
You just had it for me.
I'm just gonna set it in the middle of this sun.
Yeah. You kneel down inside of this small sun-like surface and place this beautiful blue diamond in front of you. As you do, you can see that around you guys is the light from your torches flicker and dance. You see that the diamond itself, as it kind of rests, like for a brief moment, inside of this circle, kind of like shakes almost as though the ground beneath you vibrates ever so slightly, and the diamond itself begins to crack open. And this white substance, powdery, like pervasive influence, kind of strides through the cracks as the ground breaks, shakes it, filling into the etchings around in the sun around you. As this happens, you see the slate door begin to elevate and ascend.
Ooh.
Rita,
Oh, good boy! You just see him like running through the garden.
Barreling.
So as it breaks,
Mhm.
right, and breaks down obviously into the dust that we see there, I'm assuming the color changes, right, of the stone?
Of the stone itself?
Yes.
It's mostly a clear, but yes, the powder itself looks as though it mixes with the dirt around and becomes like more of a kind of white substance
Okay.
as it fills into the etchings around.
I do not know how long we have to get through this door, but the fewer diamonds we have to sacrifice, the better.
I agree.
Yes.
Yep.
We're all making our way to that door.
Send me
Oh no,
through.
we're all dead! Take me with you. Bring my torch with me.
So we've lost a diamond.
Correct.
But I mean, there might, we can kind of
more
scoop it
so
up.
about
We
the
definitely
diamonds we
asked
found
somebody to
along the
collect
way.
more for us.
Maybe.
More about
fine.
the diamonds we
We
found.
can go back
along
to
the
like
way.
I can turn into a fish.
As
We
we're
got another
walking
lake to
through,
look
I'm
at,
gonna
too.
look at the statues as we're walking through and see if there's any change in them at all.
Their eyes follow you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. There's like a
Make a perception check then.
glowing
Did
peepers.
you say the statues?
Their hands just go like
that is
this.
a 14.
A 14?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, as you pass by the statues, I'll say that it doesn't look like there's any change in the statues or in the pedestal. It doesn't look like anything around you is remotely different.
I
It
was on
stays
top of one.
stationary. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Even with the vibration was concentrated in the area of the runic symbol
Okay.
of the sun. No difference in these statues. We hurry through the path.
As I step onto the threshold, I'm going to turn to Felix and say into his mind, I think perhaps in here we should wait for more light. Get a feel for what lies beyond first.
I can't get a feel of anything if I can't see.
Well, grab my shoulder. We'll put the light back out when we're certain there's nothing waiting.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab. Trying to think of what you look like and what you're wearing. You have a belt on around your coat. Oh my god!
You killed the party.
Don't stack walls on top of things.
Yeah, if you have like, I'll grab like the back of your cloak if your hood is down. I'll grab your hood and then I'll use my second hand to grab like your belt or anything like that.
Oh, you mage hand at your face.
I'll just bring the torch down and I'll speak into your mind. Turn it off.
What?
Turn it off.
Conclude the spell.
I'm sure I can,
You
right?
can.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
no,
we can.
It's been more than 4 hours.
I gotta go to the doctor.
It does say until the spell ends.
You can dismiss this.
Yeah, you can dismiss it.
Oh yeah, spell ends if you cast it or dismiss it. Yeah.
That would have been so much.
Turn out the light.
I don't know
just
how.
doesn't know that
Put
he
it
can.
on that pillar.
Oh, fuck!
I'll put mine out as well.
Yeah. Very good. So, I mean, you guys hurry through this very narrow opening and find yourselves standing. Well, if we're turning the lights off,
Oh no.
you find yourself standing in what feels like a quite eerie crossroads of sorts.
Good.
I'm counting squares, sorry. Yeah. The room itself, as you stand right at this threshold, having just taken the 5 feet in from this opening, is about, it's rectangular, so it's about 40 by 60. So you are able to see just at the opposite end of the walls outside for what is the opposite end. And I say that it feels like a crossroad because it is. You can see that this has got a hallway to the right, a hallway to the left, and a hallway on the opposite side of you. The stone floor in here is definitively cracked and broken in many areas. You can see that the stones themselves have the same kind of, like, if you go through any of the old cobblestone streets for us, like in Philly, where they are elevated and like really uncomfortably elevated. You can see that there are some of them that are divots, and based on the elevation for what you're looking at from a distance, you can see large patches of strange shapes, where it looks as though obviously something incredibly heavy or dense traversed through. You can see the impact points of what look like large circular shapes, but with oblong ends where they're not perfectly formed. So you can see a concentrated strike point in a center, but it looks almost like an etching of a blob where it is broken out and the stone indents deeply and the bricks are kind of upturned at angles. You can see a pair of broken statues, not remotely like the statues that are out here that are forged of obsidian. You can see 2 statues inside. One looks like it is a man, a human man, standing covered with a bassinet, like kind of salad helm, where you can see the full extent of his face. You can see that his face is kind of chipped away, and the area in which the eye and upper portion of the face is broken and kind of like slid off. So you can see the rough groove of stone beneath it. Its pedestal is cracked in half at the base, so it is just a flat, maybe only like 4 or 5 inch lip worth of a pedestal right to your left, maybe about 5 to 10 feet inward. It is cracked in half, right down the center, and you can see that it splits once more on one side, forming 3 kind of equal pieces, almost triangular shaped. You can see that the portions of the man's torso are broken in the center, again, from what looks like blunt force being dramatically applied. You can see pieces of the framework and the surrounding granite that are surrounding the statue at the chest, looking as though where it was struck, it broke and splayed outwards, shattering the statue itself. There are piles of rock that look as though they have fallen from the ceiling. So you can see areas in which the ceiling ascends upwards, not fully into like a shaft construction because you're not able to see the entirety of it, but about 20 feet ahead of you, you can see that there is a pile of rocks, maybe 4 to 5 boulders, comprising an awkward shape, maybe about 3 by 5 feet. Beneath the rocks, you can see the flayed out, extending arm of a bone, like a skeletal structure. Adjacent to it, you can see that there is a small leather pouch that is stripped open, like somebody took a knife from bottom to height. You can see the fettered kind of pieces of the twine broken and splayed out, the contents completely missing. To the opposite corner, you can see another pile of rubble. You can see what looks like the discarded remains of a backpack, a broken pickaxe, a frayed spindle of rope, just kind of torn and ripped asunder, the pieces of it kind of splayed out. You can see the indentations of what looked like an area in which a pillar descended from a corner and is now angled triangularly, where it has hit the wall behind it, and the elevation still kind of clings to life against the edges of the wall. And beneath that, you can see a pair of storage crates that are also crushed, broken, now dark, stained, rotting wood. Gives you that terrific again, odor of just rot and decay and dank, stale air. And you can see all throughout this area a litany of gossamer threads around the ceilings, the heights of walls, covering the pillars. And you are standing here in this room.
I would carefully step in far enough to let everybody else through the door.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise just listen.
Mm-hmm. Everyone takes a few more steps inside, so we're all carefully in here, clear of the passageway from which we once entered.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to listen? I'm going to make a perception check.
15.
15? You hear in the distance, as the passageway behind you closes and you feel that rush of air behind you, you get that high whistling, wailing echo of the rush of air as it has been cut off, the little bit of a draft that has come through that cave, spread out into this room around you. You guys all are in the area. You're able to see the kind of shaking, flickering glimmer of the gossamer threads as the wind just dissipates, going its separate ways throughout the room, going to each of the exits on each of the walls. Hello, Don. Welcome to my caves. It's gonna be fun in here, because the door is closed.
How does it close?
You just hear it kind of, from top down, just kind of slide all the way down.
Does it get dark?
Oh yes, it does. Very dark.
Like none of us can see.
You guys have your dark vision. I will say that it is completely absent of total light, and that there will be some minor difficulties. Your dark vision will still extend out to a decent stretch. I'll give you the full 60 feet still of what you do have. But things will be very hard to see down here.
Does there appear to be another circle on the floor on the opposite side of this door?
No. No, there does not.
Good.
This is the same reaction as Doc. What's it mean? The Death King. Great!
We're on the inside of the house.
But there's
We had to have the key to the lock to get in.
Now we need the key to the lock to get out.
Oh, you
Why
just
would
open
they
the door.
lock themselves
We
in?
could probably just turn around and like, whoop, just
I don't know. Does anybody want to use their peepers to look towards the door?
The door just
Anybody
closed.
that can see.
I want to know how quiet it is.
Is there a
Once
lever
we
next to the door?
are in and
Probably.
it stops.
Not that lever.
You got a 15, right, on your perception check? Yeah, I will say that outside of just the thin, kind of faint echoing that you get from the wind, I will say that as the things become quite still and nobody is talking, you hear just in the distance the faintest hint of a droplet of water cracking against a surface that every, 30 seconds to a minute.
Shall we put the lights back on?
Yes.
We can. Sure.
Anything that lives in this sort of darkness
Load
see.
it towards you.
will probably not be amenable to light.
No.
Yes.
The same way that we are not amenable to this.
Correct. Sure.
Well, I'll just float it back because I don't know where you are.
Just hit him with it.
Grab the torch and cast light on
Place your hand over the height of the torch.
it. Correct.
As you cast light on it, you watch as the illumination kind of breaks out once more, and you have the 20 feet of bright, 20 feet of dim. And for this ever brief moment, you see the entirety of the walls and the heights of the ceiling here. You see that the ceiling itself is once more comprised of, again, well-weathered, eroded bricks, the same as the composition for the outside. However, the flooring in here looks as though it is a clean, checkered marble. Beautifully decorated.
I turn around and look at the door.
Uh-huh.
Does there appear to be any sort of lever or anything that operates the door from this side?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right to the right, as you turn around and face, right to the right, you can see that there is, behind the statue that is broken here on the ground, you can see the broken fragment of what was once a lever. Cracked out, you see just the small little piece of splintered timber that remains inside of this obvious groove.
Well,
At least there is something.
Yes.
A problem for when we go to leave.
sure. Unless, of course, we find another exit.
Up.
Sure.
I think that we will be expected by our new friend
Yes, I think
at
so.
this entrance.
I saw bones. If we
You
want...
mean those bones?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do
If
they?
we...
What sort of bones do they look like? I'm not the bone man, but
In terms of
Bone
what
man?
you guys are able to see from what is beneath the crushed rocks here, just the arm, it looks like you're seeing just the elbow up to the hand. It looks short.
dwarf short.
Yeah, dwarf short. Uh-huh.
Sure.
Do we want to try to find out what happened here?
I think it's fairly obvious that he was crushed.
You do.
That was a
Cast cantrip.
I know.
We're in a magically weird place.
You're okay. As you do cast
I
light,
have to do it too.
What sort of magically weird would you like me to be at?
what is the one down?
Unstable.
Mm-hmm. Unstable indeed.
And
Oh,
your burnout
that's-
die starts at a 10, not a 12.
No, it starts at a 12.
They bumped me to a 10 when I hit unstable.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how you had it. It was
Okay.
It
Then yes, that
sucks
is correct.
your-
It's
your
just been a while.
So I gotta roll a
shit.
d10?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
I have to do the same, I assume. I also cast light.
When we were in here,
Yeah.
then yes.
Go figure. 5 again.
Yeah, very good.
It was meant to be.
Going out.
I'm good. 9.
Very good. Yeah. The two individuals, though, as you do cast light, I will tell you that there is this strange, pervasive kind of chill sensation that lingers inside of your chest. And when you breathe out as you speak the words for the verbal components, you feel this kind of gasp escape you. And this chill air kind of puffs out from inside.
Anyone else cold?
Mm-hmm.
You mean beyond normal?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Fair. I assume you're always cold.
Quite the opposite.
You're always warm.
Not exactly.
Never cold.
Mm-hmm.
More like that.
bones.
Yeah, they look like the bones of a dwarven individual based on size and stature. I will tell you now as well that there is more light lit in this area. You can see that near him, amidst the areas of the cracked pieces of rock that are crushing this skeletal figure, you can see these shards of what look like bottles around him. A light kind of well-designed and illuminated, or not illuminated, I guess we'll say transparent, but like still, when you painted the mini, when you do the translucent paints and it's got like the hint of a coloration in it, like a light aquamarine style blue. You see one bottle that is that color, and then you see another bottle that has a strange kind of green tinge to it. Inside the glass itself, both bottles though, shattered, cracked, adjacent to this body. You can see that there are what look like long old stains of a liquid that spilled out from them when they were shattered.
Whatever happened inside of this city is far different from what was in that cave.
Yes.
It seems that it was contained to a degree, or that perhaps something different has happened in here since.
Is there a skull, or is it like crushed under the rocks?
Crushed under the rocks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that is splayed out is the arm and the hand.
Should we try to open the door?
If it will open, it will open. And if it will not, it will not.
I'll walk over to the lever.
Hmm?
A little, just
Yeah, you give it a good push down.
good pump.
No movement.
Like as if it's stuck, or...
I would say that you're capable of kind of peering in, and you can see the mechanism that is inside, like the spoke and the wheel, are indeed cracked in half and broken.
Great.
Trapped then.
Well, that
Not
leaves
necessarily.
not trapped, and just leaves one way forward.
How thick was the door?
Of stone? I mean,
Stone thick.
like
Wall
3 to 6 inches.
3 C's.
Oh, it's actually not as thick as I thought.
No, still pretty thick.
You could break through that.
A problem for later.
We got a pickaxe,
We found a
I could turn into
bomb.
like a moose.
and then we'll put
your own
pickaxes
head
on your head so you can slam into the wall.
For now, we should concern ourselves with
Finding things.
finding what we came for and
Let's just get the fuck out of here.
keeping our bearings. Felix, if you wouldn't mind at least attempting to keep some form of map.
And I'll take out my book
Mm-hmm.
and just the bottom, just make a little X, and I'm gonna keep the torch
Right above your head.
right. This is the end of the torch that's actually lit right here,
Very good.
so I have a nice light for my book.
a little reading light.
Yeah.
Puts a worm light over it.
It's the Game Boy Color worm light.
Oh, I love it.
God, I miss those.
Yalimlo, you had extra pouches, yes?
A couple, yes.
With your gloves, might you grab a few fragments of that glass and put it in a pouch in case Christian can identify what it is, or someone else?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll retrieve some of it.
Nail down and kind of scoop it up and gather a little bit of it and take a couple of shards of each of the larger fragments of each color of glass and you put it in a pouch.
If I look at the floor in this room, is there any obvious grooves from where carts were pushed through? Like worn
yes.
down from
Yeah.
time.
I will say that in the area in which you guys are, you can see that from stemming towards where you were, where you guys came in from, the carts would all kind of be gathered in a central area, and the grooves would be the deepest in the outward path. However, you do see slight minor indentations stretching towards the room to the right. Not the room opposite or to the left.
So I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a feel for it.
Mhm.
So there's a room directly to the left, and then directly to the right, and then a path forward.
Yep.
And this is a narrower hallway, correct?
We are in a wide rectangular shaped room where
Wide
it is 40 by 60.
Okay.
At the median point of each opposite walls, there is a hallway that extends out.
Okay.
And at the opposite end of us from where we entered, there is also a hallway that stretches out.
Got it.
Does the hallway extend all the way to the ceiling? Is it like a big arch, or is it just small?
It's a big arch.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Seems like a thoroughfare of some sort.
Correct.
Traffic.
Yeah, I will
Toward
also
this
say
gate.
that, like, in the areas where you can see the storage crates and barrels, you can see that there is, it's going to look gross, but you can see what looks like piles of barley and wheat, like hops and other grains that have been broken open, and it's obviously disgustingly rotted at this point and wilted away and covered in mold, but, like, you can see that even in the areas around here, there were other trade goods that were coming in or coming out.
I'm gonna eat some of that and start a witch trial.
Oh.
Let's make this adventure a lot more fun, right?
I do not know the shape of this city, but we entered at the base of the mountains. Laterally speaking, I don't imagine we'll end up deeper into the heart of the city.
Yes.
To the left or to the right?
The tracks on the floor there show heavier traffic going to the right. So
Perhaps.
more loaded carts were moved through there.
Perhaps some sort of storeroom.
Perhaps.
We
It's-
should take
the
a
carts
look,
were
I
loaded.
think.
Probably with any sort of stone, it would have weighed them down enough to wear it over time.
Stone we may need. Or gems, or we should take a look at the very least.
It can't hurt to look.
Well,
I said what I said. That was to the right.
Correct.
Turn toward the right.
Make sure that you mind the webs.
yes.
Small spiders may be gross, but bigger spiders are
Are
even more
gross.
gross.
Wait, how big is the webbing?
Could be.
Oh, the webbing that's around the room
Yes.
covers the entirety of the heights of the walls and the corners.
Like, whole wall, thick webbing.
Mm-hmm.
If you touch it, is it like sticky?
Are you gonna go touch it?
Do I have a knife?
With your right hand.
I'm definitely gonna touch it with my.
Just gonna
I just
get
wanna-
a grip on
No,
it.
I just want like
Glove
one
hand.
No. Bare hand. My wet bare hand.
Yeah. You kind of rub it between your fingers. It feels
mind
very
the webs,
smooth.
and they're like, got it.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
wanna
of
see-
wild how people do that, isn't it?
Want to see if it's fresh or if it'll just
Don't touch
break.
that. All right.
Is it a threat?
I mean, it stays in between your fingers. It definitely has some tensile strength and some resistance. As you just kind of like roll your
Give it a
fingers
shake.
and then
Yeah.
you give it a flick, and it just boings.
I'll just kind of make a sigh.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Sarah?
I'm gonna palm the gem, and I'm gonna summon the blade, with which to clear webs should it become necessary.
Sure. What are you doing, Sarah?
Did he do that first?
I would say you guys are doing it concurrently. The thing that you indicated to me that you wanted to do, you said you wanted to
I'm
do.
not swiping any webs out of the way. I'm just preparing myself to do so if something is in my way.
Yeah, I would say these three actions are occurring
Yeah.
simultaneously. He is summoning the blade, Paul is touching some stuff, and you said you wanted to touch some stuff. What do you want to touch?
Stuff
I
touch.
want to.
Your heart.
2021.
I want
Probably
to.
not.
Can I use my spells
Can you?
without being punished?
You have
I
you
can't
have
give you an answer
agency.
to that.
What do you mean?
It sounds like you're using your spells.
I'm gonna cast.
Let's hear it.
No, I'm gonna cast Primal Savagery
Okay.
and just
Evoke claws.
evoke claws, and I just want to see if I can break through
Sure.
these webs.
Yeah. Make an attack roll.
Yeah.
Roll your burnout die, and
Which is a D10.
Yes.
we'll see what's happening.
A 0 is a 10.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's good. We want a 10.
Correct.
We don't want to
anything-
one.
anything
want a
but one.
And then the attack is going to be a 17.
Yeah. Roll your damage die.
There's summon these spiders?
If I didn't
Well,
alert
just
them,
really
you
vibrate and
did.
let them know exactly
Turn the
what
lights on and start smashing their stuff.
What's going on here, huh?
Technically, it's
Acid
acid
damage?
damage.
Yeah, I know. So you just kind of like pause.
Just like I'm not going like a full.
You're not going a full swipe.
No.
You're just going like that.
Like I just want to see
You
if I
give
can.
it a good. just a very curious, innocent.
An innocent step.
Just a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pawing
You
at it.
watch as the. I guess we'll give it a beautiful, like translucent green, just kind of spreads out from the edges of your fingers, forming these ethereal, like fingertip claws, and you just rake through a small portion of this webbing. And you watch as it just kind of like shakes slightly, just from the obvious loss of some of the areas of the tensile strength. Just kind of ripples and then goes steady. It breaks.
It breaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
The area in which you scratched, it breaks. The web kind of droops.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
With my time being out in the woods and
Uh-huh.
observing the wildlife, would I know how spider webs work
Mm-hmm.
and how spiders?
Feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you would.
And you wouldn't stop me from doing this?
Listen,
I
We
literally
both-
said, "Don't touch the webs," and you guys went, "Got it."
You said
I
watch the
I did a
webs.
gentle touch. Okay, I did a little just to
I want
see.
to make sure that if we get stuck in these things, that we can get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I would just put my hand on your shoulder and go. That might call them.
Let's hope they're all small then.
They could be friends.
I don't know if I like that anymore. I'd maybe rather have one big one than 1,000 small ones.
Swarm?
I kind of
Yeah.
don't want that at all.
If there's one big one, there's also 1,000
That's
small
fair.
ones.
I hate it. I hate both of them.
There might not even be 1,000. It's like being in an old house, man. There's some spiders in here. He
Or
hasn't
your
said
old-
that they're big,
or
and
your
he
old
hasn't
basement.
called the webs weird yet.
It's just that they're there. Watching.
I know that he scarred you at one point in time.
Let's just,
I just hate spiders.
let's just listen to see if we can hear them coming.
No.
You want to pause and make a perception check? Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, fuck it.
Sure.
Hear little clickety clackies.
That's a nat 20.
Great.
Ooh.
Oh,
Great.
I will say. Oh no. You
I heard that.
do not hear. You don't hear that.
What do I hear?
You.
What do I
as
hear,
you're
John?
Standing here, kind of paused in this small crossroads. You feel this very faint whisper right behind you. They won't let us go.
Did anyone else hear that?
Did anyone else hear that?
No.
What's wrong, Nesgrim?
Someone just spoke in my ear. Said they won't let us go.
I think perhaps this place is getting to you.
Sure.
There's no one behind you. I'm turned around looking at him. There's
Yeah.
nobody behind him.
Nothing at all.
It is not
Not like a
uncommon.
massive spider webs behind
No.
him.
Nothing. He's standing here in the center area of this crossroads.
What did it say?
What did it sound like?
DJ, please make a wisdom saving throw. You're good at those. Fair.
Come on, whiz kid.
That's 16.
Ooh. 16. Very good. Please roll me a d10.
It's a 1.
Could be a good thing.
It could be good. Could be massively good.
Could be massively awful.
If he was trying to decide how many ethereal spiders there were, and you just rolled one. then
True.
Ethereal talking spiders.
Mm-hmm. No, as you hear this voice and your friends all kind of look back in your direction, and you see that each of them kind of pauses and looks at you, for this brief moment, you feel like your friends aren't your friends. As though each of them, as they look at you in turn, feels almost unrecognizable. As though you've temporarily gone face blind. And you see simply just these blank, shadowy, ethereal expressions which do absolutely remind you of the things that you've seen in your visions. As though faces extend out from smoke that you don't see around these people. And then suddenly these ethereal visages just fade and your friends are standing here simply before you.
What?
Nothing. Darkness playing tricks on my eyes, I guess.
We should keep moving.
Yes.
Nazgrim, what did the voice sound like? A person?
Just a person, yeah.
A middle-aged man.
Man, about my age, saying I'm gonna do my best to mimic it. They will not let us leave.
Great.
It's not a phenomenon unheard of.
Excellent.
We've heard voices before, I suppose. Just let us know if you hear it anymore.
Sure.
I'm gonna pull my moon touch longsword out.
I'm going to swiftly
Point.
start walking in the direction of where we're going, so to the right.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm right there with him.
We start to take steps towards the right. You unsheathe this moon sword. You hold this moon sword aloft. As you hold the moon sword aloft, and in the bright radius around, you see this pair of ethereal faces reverberating out against the tensile light that is flickering at the edges of your blade, kind of extending down into this almost nothingness, as though floating heads existing. The faces of what look like around the height, well, 4.5 feet high, the sunken, hollow faces of ethereal, ghostly dwarves. And we will end there.
I didn't do that.
That one ain't my fault.
Fuck! Spiders, I take blame for that. Ghost dwarves?
It's Wembley's spirit.
Wembley died in the city and fucking with Nazgrim. That's actually great.
Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. We really appreciate it. Vulpix, thank you again for the 6 gifted subs this evening. Elliot with the resub, Siren with the resub, iTwitch with the resub, and DJ with the resub. Thank you very, very much. Mm-hmm. If you're new here, make sure you follow us. You can find us again. We stream D&D 3 times a week, probably. Depends on the snow, honestly. We've been bamboozled at the beginning of the year, but we try.
Mm-hmm.
John has continued to predict.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Terrible thing.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can't wait for the ghost dwarves now, Don.
Yeah.
If anything, you'll have affirmation that dwarves are real.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, that's the only bad prediction, but that sounds nice.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're new here, make sure you follow us. You can find us again. You can also check out our website, NotGreatRPG.com. We really appreciate you guys being here tonight. We'll be back. What?
We're streaming tomorrow.
We're streaming tomorrow, Sarah and I, on my personal channel, Not Great Don.
Mm-hmm.
You're racing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're racing through a section of the Breath of the Wild DLC where you'll be able to see both of our perspectives. So come on out for that if you're interested.
Overlay for
It's
that.
going to be fun. And then we'll be back with D&D on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, probably. It looks good now because we're not supposed to get as much snow as we thought. We're really not supposed to get any. Again, we'll see what happens. There's nothing we can do about the weather. But yeah, we'll hopefully see you then. So thanks, everybody, and have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, friends.